What's going on, everybody? Hope all is well, and welcome to the channel. Today we will be previewing the Soul Bowl 2022. Begins at the top of the hour. Right now, we're going to take a look at football around the HBCU world until that game starts. Vanderbilt is beating Florida 28-19. But what's going on and what's more important is this game right here in the HBCU world, because I do believe if A&T clinches right here, if they win this game right here, I think they win the Big South, and that will make them a playoff contending team. But unfortunately, they are down right now, and Guard Webb is handling business. 3 first half turnovers by A&T got them down like 21-14 or something like that, or 28-14. And as you can see, not much has changed since the start of the game. But I'm going to go ahead and play this audio, man, and we're going to preview this up until we get to the game.
Player of the year, and he has more than shown off ability to make plays for this offensive Gardner Webb, and he does so yet again.
35-yard gain will be the final play.
That is the end of the third quarter.
Final play of the third quarter. 31-17, Gardner Webb the lead. Spangler Stadium rocking. Running Bulldogs, encouraging their fans.
It's not looking too good. Still down 14 points, man. I don't know what's going to go on with that. Let's see you go. Let's see who's playing right here on HBCU Go. I think that's Texas Southern and A&M. But I don't think that game has started yet. So we're going to go on YouTube and look for – oh, there you go right there. Boom, boom.
In between the defenders, and suddenly sees a lot of green. Great play.
Actually, that's Xavier Langford. That was not Tucker. That was 16.
Oh, it was 16.
Yeah, Langford came into the game, and had been the quarterback as of record for the most part. Freshman out of Alabama. And Jemison back in there. But Langford came in and spelled Quincy Casey. There you see Langford on the sideline now, number 16. Actually, he's on the field. We're looking over for plays. Yeah. And 2nd down and 9 after that 1-yard gain.
Alternating quarterback.
9 yards to go.
So this young man is a better runner. If you look at the running part of their offense,
Proved it on that last play.
Play action, pass on the near side, and trying to turn the corners. Cox still on his feet. Cox gets the first down. And that's going to be the end of one. 15 minutes in the books here in Huntsville, Alabama. No score. A couple of turnovers. Alabama A&M. They're threatening. They're inside the 30.
So there you have it right there with Texas Southern and now they still on commercial. Let's go on to YouTube Streets Valley. I think they just getting started. I saw, yeah. It's a lot of people viewing this game right now.
The Panthers take over with a 7-0 lead. Quarterback Trayvon Conley, an 8-yard touchdown run, has been the only score of the game thus far. Panthers have it at their own 12, 7:03 to go in the first half. Handoff Stewart straight ahead, has a first down, looks for more. He ran through a couple of defenders all the way up to the 29-yard line. Jaron Fox on the tackle. 17-yard rumble for Jaden Stewart. They try him again, and Ronnie Thomas busts through into the Panther backfield and brings Stewart down for a loss back to the 26. That is the 17th tackle for loss on the year for Ronnie Thomas. Second and 13 from the 26. Empty backfield for Conley on second and long. Play clock down to 3. Conley steps up, looking to run. Gets to the 35, slides down. There was contact. He lost his headgear. It was a late slide, though. Nothing intentional or wrong there by the Valley defense. It was a very late slide by Conley. Taken down by Kenneth Martin. Ball is at the Panther 32. C.J. Dumas will check in at quarterback. Handoff off left tackle. Lucas Banks on the stop for the Delta Devils. Gain only to the 34. Delta Devils force another punt. Got a good one brewing here late in the first half. Again, Prairie View with the win locks up the Western Division and would face Jackson State in the SWAC Championship coming up on December 3rd. Delta Devils looking to spoil that opportunity. Bates will take it at the 30 and dances his way to the 35, maybe the 36. Taken down by Kendon Jones, also Miles McCaney on the tackle for the Panthers. So Delta Devils have all 3 timeouts remaining here late in the first half. 64 yards to go to hit pay dirt. 1st and 10 from their own 36. Easton will have Wilson lined up off his left hip. 2 receivers left with an H-back to the left side as well. Easton fires left side. Caught. Rankin. It's to the 40 and looks to race downfield, but steps out of bounds. They'll mark him out. Looks like right at the 40, maybe the 41. Gain to the 41. Easton to throw it. Caught by Eads. Works to the 43, maybe 44. Hit taken down by Keyshawn Johnson. A couple yards shy of the first down. They'll mark it at the 43. Third and 2. Easton checks to the sideline. Handoff Wilson. Tries to bounce outside and not the greatest idea. He ran into the arms of Derek Ray and then was taken down by several white shirts. A give him progress to the 44, gain of 1. Going to bring up 4th and very short, and this Delta Devil coaching staff appears to be going for it at the moment. 2:35 clock running here in the second quarter. Delta Devils do have all 3 timeouts remaining. If they want to try to draw the Panthers off sides here, then call a timeout. May be an idea. And Valley will burn a timeout. That'll stop the clock with 2:21 to go. Second quarter, Delta Devils down by 7. We'll take a break and be back on the Valley State Sports Network.
Facts, Aaron. What's good, bro? Yeah, it's history making time, man. History making time. I was looking around HBCU world. Howard is winning their game. But this game right here got playoff implications. And A&T did all that talking, where their fans did all that talking in all these chats. And they losing. Look at them.
3 to play here in the Big South Championship game. Gardner Webb 31, North Carolina A&T 17. Winner will lift the trophy at the end of this one and will clinch a spot.
The winner.
Automatic qualifier into the FCS playoffs in 2014 fields. Games start next week. One of the things that Trey Lamb said, to your points, in these games, you just got to keep it simple. Go back to your best players. That's what he remembers playing in these games. Jaden Brown weaves through traffic down near the 10. And he is also the son of a former coach, the uncle of a current college coach, Bobby Lamb, spent a long time at Furman and Mercer, and now is at D2 Anderson in South Carolina. They gave him some feedback on how to coach in these games, and they all said, just stay to your strengths, keep it simple, don't get out ahead of your skis. You've played in these games, you tell me.
I think it's exactly right. And we were kind of wondering early on, we saw Bailey Fisher run a whole lot. I mean, more than we're used to seeing. We know he can run the ball, but they were using him heavily. But keep it simple. Let your best players go make the plays that win you championships.
Jaden Brown has a hole. He's spun down at the 5-yard line. Would have been 6 if not for Aaron Harris. And it does move the chains. 1st and goal at the 5 for Gardner Webb. They're up by 2 touchdowns. Their largest lead in this game is 17.
Offensively, it's been Bailey Fisher. It's been Nori Gaither. It's been Cottrell Haywood. It's been TJ Luther. These guys now, Jaden Brown, your best players on offense have come to play today.
Bro, if they don't win this game, they got to depend on the committee. So now they're going to have to go to their resume. They don't win this game, they have to depend on the committee, and then it goes up the resume.
From the start, didn't he? Just got right to the mesh point, and whether it was Fisher, Brown, it didn't matter. Jonathan Burns was back there to witness it as well. It didn't really matter who got the football. They were going down. Jermaine McDaniel came with authority and was able to put a stop to that play in a hurry.
2nd down and goal. Back to the 9-yard line. TJ Luther is the motion man. Fisher rolling right, pressure comes, little shovel pass. Jaden Brown diving for the goal line. And he's just short. 8 of 8.
He faked everyone out in the stadium, didn't he? Thought he was going to go outside in the flat, but Jaden Brown, a little shovel underneath. And he's close to the goal line.
David Laney the tackle. Ball at the 1. Clock is ticking. Title in sight. 3-score lead would do a lot towards securing that Big South Conference crown. Fisher under center for the 2nd time today. Jaden Brown, the tailback. Hands for Brown. He's in! Touchdown! Spangler erupts. The running Bulldogs can feel it. It's a 3-touchdown lead, 9:30 to play.
I don't think that we're going to see them clinch. They might not even get a playoff berth. Damn, A&T. We just waiting on the main event to start, y'all. Taking a look around HBCU world.
And now the Panthers will set up shop in Delta Devil territory with 1 minute to go in the first half.
Aaron said AT&T. I mean, A&T going on. I called him AT&T.
Prairie View with 2 timeouts remaining. Conley swings it out, left side, caught. Colby Washington on the reception for a Panther first down. I'll mark him out at the Valley 32. Plenty of time on the clock. Delta Devils could use a turnover of their own. Conley running right side, pointing out a block, and he'll go to the ground before Kenneth Martin can make contact. We'll put him down at the 27, gain of 5. Or actually the 28, beg your pardon. Gain of 4, clock down to 30 seconds. Play action. Conley dumps it off incomplete. Pressure applied from Ronnie Thomas. So the clock stops with the incomplete pass. 24 seconds to go. 3rd and 6 for the Panthers. Delta Devils need a stop. Conley will have 2 receivers left, 2 to the right on 3rd down. Time in the pocket. Going toward the end zone. That ball incomplete. Overthrown. Good coverage downfield, but no chance for Ty Holden to bring that one in. It was overthrown. 4th down coming up with 18 seconds to go in the half. Conley wants to go. Some of the field goal unit is out on the field. Prairie View may have to burn another timeout. They're going to keep the offense on the field. 4th and 6 from the 28. Play clock down to 5. 4 wide for Conley. And they're going to pick up the first down. Delta Devils had 12 men on the field, and they did not get off before the ball was snapped.
How you do that?
Unless there was movement up front, I didn't see. It appears this was going to go against the Delta Devils. It will not result in a first down. It'll be 4th and 1 if that's the case. But the Delta Devils had a defender late getting off the field, and he did not make it off before the ball was snapped. The referee's discussing it. And now they're going to go over and give an explanation to Coach Bubba McDowell and the Panther coaching staff. I never saw an indication given. And Prairie View will call a timeout. So that will be, I guess, no penalty on the Delta Devils, but timeout Panthers. With 15 seconds to go in the half, Prairie View on top, 7-0. We'll keep it here during the timeout. Delta Devils desperately need a stop. They had a drive going, but the second interception of the day negated that and gave the Panthers an opportunity inside Delta Devil territory to extend their lead. But now the Delta Devils have forced 4th down, and the field goal unit will come on. It'll be a 45-yard attempt out of Luis Reyes. He is 9 of 14 on the year. His long is 47. This is a 45-yard try from the right hash. And there's movement up front. Flag down. timeout. I beg your pardon. Timeout, Delta Devils. I guess the movement I saw was after the players realized there was a timeout call, so I apologize there. Timeout in Mississippi Valley. We'll keep it here. Again, a 45-yard try coming up from Luis Reyes, senior kicker for the Panthers out of Cypress, Texas. He is 9 of 14 on the year. A little inconsistent, but again, as long as 47. And this will be a right hash try from 45 yards out. Good snap, good hold. Reyes has got plenty of distance, but it is wide right. Field goal no good. So the Delta Devils get the stop they needed. They'll get it back with 13 ticks left here in the first half, trailing 7-0. Valley will have it at their own 28-yard line. Should just see Easton go to a knee here. The Delta Devils will be glad to take just a 7-0 deficit into the locker room here, knowing they're going to get it back to start the third quarter. And we will see Easton go to a knee, and that'll bring the first half to a close. A good one for the Delta Devils as the Panthers came in 6-4, a chance to win the Western Division, and only a 7-point.
Dang. 7-0 over Valley right now. Valley playing hard. Cedar scored 3-0. Nobody. There we go. The main event.
Sheduer Sanders, the quarterback for J-State, and their head coach, Coach Prime. Hello, everyone. I'm Butch Alcindor, along with Jorge Vargas. And could you ask for a better game than this one? You have Jackson State trying to finish the year out undefeated in the regular season. And how about Alcorn State? Even at 5-5, they still have a shot to win the championship.
So you're saying there's a chance?
There's a chance.
I think there's a chance, and they know it, and they know to make that happen, they've got to take care of Jackson State today, and that is a tough challenge because really they want to get back and play Jackson State.
They would love to do that, and to do that, they may have to run the football on the ground. Look for a lot of ground and pound today from this young man, the leading rusher in the SWAC, Jarvion Powers.
But, I mean, when you watch this guy run, he runs on a mission. He runs bad. He's fast. He's got great dexterity. And watch the power right here. I'm not going down. That's how he runs. And they'll need that, every inch of him today.
And you talk about punishment, because on the other side, Jackson State has a young man who can dish out some punishment. His name is Savion Wilkerson, and he's the number 2 rusher in the SWAC.
Yeah, and he'll be rushing and pounding his way to 1,000 yards. He wants a 1,000-yard season, and that's what he'll have today. He doesn't have far to get there, but he will certainly attack the line of scrimmage.
And Coach Prime has been the engineer who keeps this train on the tracks. His 3rd season at Jackson State. You see his record, 21-5, but his impact has been more than wins and losses.
His impact is everywhere in the SWAC and HBCUs. He is a man who certainly brings a lot of attention.
And on the other side, Fred McNair, in his 6th season as Alcorn State, 29-11 record versus SWAC opponents. That is very impressive. And of course, everybody knows his brother, Steve McNair.
Yeah, no question. That family has done so much for HBCU, and Coach Sanders actually is one that talked about how much of a pillar he was in the community, what he meant to HBCU football, what him and his family meant. So he has nothing but respect for the McNairs and for Frank.
Fred. You mentioned that, Fred and Coach Prime. Nothing but love for Coach McNair. You know, he talked a lot about how much he respects him and the job that he's doing at Alcorn State. So we're getting ready for the opening kickoff here in Lorman, Mississippi. And Alcorn will give the football to Jackson State first. They will get the first bite at this apple. And SWAC football is underway in Lorman, Mississippi. And here come the Tigers on the return. It's Cochran trying to get around the outside, but he's banged out of bounds. Nice return there by Jackson State on the opening kickoff of the game.
Yeah, they're coming right at him. And again, Coach Prime, they're going to test and see exactly what the Braves are going to come at him with. And whatever they come at him with, they're going to go the opposite direction. They want to stack the box. They're going to go up top. If they back up a little bit, then you're going to see them run and pound.
We will get our first look at Sheduer Sanders. He's number 2. He's the leading passer in the SWAC. Maybe the most impressive things, the 31 touchdowns, but how about that completion percentage at 70.7?
And that just means he knows where he's going to go with the ball, and he's very accurate when he gets it there, right? That's important for your receivers and your team.
This guy's been breaking down tape since he was 7. Starts it with the pass, completed pass to Dallas Daniels, and he does a great job getting upfield for a nice game.
And again, very deliberate, right? They're back there. They're going to see exactly where they line up at, and if they're going to be back off the wide receiver, they're just going to pitch it out to them. Let them get 4 or 5 yards.
Sanders and the Tigers go to an up-tempo as they get to the line of scrimmage quickly. 2nd and 3 now. Turns, he hands inside. That is Savion Wilkerson with his first carry of the day, and it's a first down for the Tigers. I loved it when Coach Prime told us this week, we got to see this guy get his grain. He's close to 1,000 yards. We want to see him get his grain in this ball game today. So 1st and 10, he goes with another pass underneath to Shane Hooks this time. Hooks is going to pick up about 6 yards on the play as the Braves have to pull in a gang tackle here to get him down, and he's still not down.
That's an absolute scrum, right? Again, I like it. It's not even just a weight pass. It's a little bit of a short slant, so your receiver's able to open up to you to catch the ball quickly. And our cricket impact players of the game on Jackson State, Sheduer Sanders and Aubrey Miller Jr. Aubrey Miller, one heck of a linebacker. They'll count on him. We'll get to the other side in a minute.
As Sheduer goes up top, has a man open. It's a completed pass. He has Coleman again, and he's hit out of bounds hard. But a nice catch, and that should be a first down again for Jackson State.
And again, Jackson State really dictating the flow of the game, and they are dictating the plays right there. Again, you leave somebody open, he's going to hit it. Because, again, just like you said, when you're 70% effective, that's fantastic. You're going to make sure you make the connection.
Go to the running game this time, and it's Wilkerson who carries straight ahead. He's going to pick up a few inside. That's going to be one of the keys to the ball game. Coach Prime said, we will go tempo because Alcorn State is out to shorten the game as much as they can on offense. So we now have a 2nd and 7 for the Tigers. As they slow down a little bit, as Sheduer Sanders looks over to the sideline. As I mentioned, he's the number 1 passer in the SWAC. Threw for 4 TDs just last week. And he turns and he hands to Wilkerson again, and Wilkerson goes forward for a good defensive stop right there by the Braves.
Here's keys of the game presented by Chevy for Jackson State. And it's keep your balance. In other words, pass run, and they're already doing it right there. They make sure they're balanced. You don't know where they're coming from. And then force them upwards to throw the ball. Make sure they have to get it in the air and dominate. Dominate. That's all you ever hear Coach Prime say. And that's what they intend to do.
That's always seems to be the goal, but this is a big 3rd and 6 as he puts Coleman in motion to the left. Coleman might have been in motion a little too early as he turned up early, but the pass is caught by Shane Hooks, and apparently the Braves have stopped him a little short. Looks like he may be a yard shy after that reception, but you saw this. Watch Coleman again turns up, and I thought he may have turned up just a tad early, but the official did not see it. Completed pass, and he's a yard shy.
Yeah, I agree with you. He did turn up, but they're going to go for it, 4th and 1.
Yeah. 4th down and a yard to go. So the first 4th down opportunity of the ball game. Sanders will throw it. Dumps it off underneath. Has his big tight end, and that is a first down to DJ Stevens. A big hit on the play. And let's see where the officials are putting it down.
Well, that was close, but looks like they gave the Tigers the first down.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like it is a first down, and the JSU drive will continue.
I'll tell you, if he got it by an inch. He barely turned up and was able to. They dropped him quick. Excellent tackle there.
Kelvonte Key making a big stop, and then here comes Wilkerson again with that ground and pound. We said this guy can run the football. 5'9", about 205, but he really packs a punch.
He does. I mean, you can see it when you watch a running back lower the boom and you see that defender back, kind of hit back a little bit and always fall forward for the running back. That tells you what kind of power they have.
Yeah, he picked up 5 yards on first down, and Sanders throws to his big tight end underneath, and he's going to be knocked down hard, tackled about 3 yards shy of the first down. So good reaction from the Braves secondary on that one.
Yeah, the Tigers' pass game is really almost like a quick run, right? These are just short little designs to get 5-6 yards, and they're doing it every time.
They're going quickly again. They go to Wilkerson. He's going to be stopped short. So again, Wilkerson will be a yard shy of the first down. The first time Coach Prime was in this situation, the Tigers went for it, and they don't blink this time. Sheduer Sanders goes right back to the line of scrimmage as Jackson State lines up to go for it. 4th and about 2 for the first down to convert and keep the drive going with the football resting right at the 20-yard line. Big conversion coming up here.
And the Braves are stacking the box. They're coming inside. Look for Jackson State to go up top.
Wilkerson walks to Sanders' left. Sanders will throw again, going up top, looking in the end zone, and it's an incomplete pass. He was trying to get it to number 4, Dallas Daniels. The ball goes right off of his hands, but there is a flag down on the field.
And that flag is for not keeping your mouth shut when you play great defense. That's exactly what that is. I mean, you cannot go and yell and scream and stomp in front of the receiver that just dropped the football and right at him, screaming and yelling after you make a great defensive play.
Our referee for the game, Preston Clipper. As you see, he discusses the call with some of his best friends and buddies on the field. So first down, Alcorn, because the penalty occurred after the pass was incomplete.
Correct. And watch this ball drop in there. Just can't hold on to it. Right, it's a little bit to the wide side. You need to give him some room. And then watch this. He will jump up, and he's just stomping. And he's right at him, screaming and yelling, yelling as he gets up. And again, I give Jackson State a lot of credit. You just handle your business. You get up, you go right back to the huddle. And that's Dallas Daniels. Just kept his cool and went back. But you can't taunt like that.
So the first big stop of the ball game goes to the Braves. The Alcorn State Braves. They come up with a big stop. It was the second attempt on 4th down on the opening drive of the game. So now our first look at Trey Lawrence, who's making his 4th start of the year at quarterback, and he turns and he gives to the conference's leading rusher, Jarvion Howard. Not much going on in the middle of Howard.
And the Tigers are stacking inside, daring to say, please throw the ball, right? They are one safety deep. Everybody else is up forward. Cornerbacks are even playing tight, and they're saying, Mr. Trey, come on up top. We're giving you an opportunity.
Only 199 passing yards for Trey Lawrence, 1 TD pass. We actually saw when he came in, he made his debut versus Grambling earlier this year. He passes, has a man open, and a good pass and a completed pass to C.J. Bowler for a first down for the Braves.
And that's key for the Braves, right? If they can get enough pass going to back up the Tigers and have some balanced offense, they're going to be huge. And that's a great catch, and it's a huge play. They have to show them they're willing to pass.
On first down, Jarvion Howard tries to work his way, but that Jackson State defense is right there. You know, they've had a tremendous season on defense led by coordinator Dennis Thurman. He's done a whale of a job, and they've been number 1 for most of the year.
Yeah, here's those other impact players presented by Cricket. Trey Lawrence, the quarterback for Alcorn, and then Terrence Ellis inside. He is huge, played huge on that drive. They have to have big games out of that. Trey especially, because he's got to make sure that the pass is at least stable enough for the Tigers to respect it. If it's not, they're going to see 8, 9 people in the box the entire time.
And Terrence Ellis is their leading tackler with 72 on the season, but Alcorn with the football now, 2nd and 10. Lawrence sprints out to the left. He's going to keep it, and he's pushed out of bounds right about the 33, 32-yard line as we come closing in on the 8-minute mark here in the first quarter. As we take a look now, our keys to the game for Alcorn brought to you by Chevy.
Run, Howard, run. I think that's self-sufficient. Jarvion Howard is going to have a big-time day, be real successful. Interior D's got to be strong and tough, and then no takeaways. Keep turning the ball over.
Ball is loose in the backfield, but there was movement up front in the offensive line. Every time you have one of these situations, the defense is pointing at the offense and vice versa. but we will see what Mr. Clipper has to say. And that will back up the Braves 5 yards.
Yeah, the only pointing that matters is the referee, which way he points the ball, right? But again, I think players tend to look at that as influence, right? They want to influence the call just in case they think they may have missed it, to give them an idea of where they need to go with the ball.
The Braves are averaging 21.5 points a game, so they've done a really good job of ball control and winning with their defense. And now they have a crucial 3rd and 5 coming up for Alcorn after the penalty. Excuse me, make that 3rd and 10 after the penalty. So Lawrence looking to his right, shoots it downfield, has a man over there, and it's incompleted pass broken up right there by Sheduer Sanders, who came over from his safety position to knock that ball away.
He's flamboyant, no doubt about it. But watch the break on the ball, and then he gets there right at the end. As soon as it touches the receiver hand, he's got his hand on it, smacking that ball away. Good job, great time.
Yeah, that was that closing speed. Something his pops was pretty famous for.
You know what's funny is everyone talks about football speed versus times on the track. You know, when guys go to the combine and all that type of stuff. There's just players that play fast. And I know you noticed that too. He's one of those guys that plays fast. He gets there. I don't know what the time is, but he gets there when he needs to.
Noah Keone on the punt. Gets it away, line drive kick. Gaines looks at it, thinks about it, but he decides not to pick it up. So Jackson State will get their 2nd possession of the ball game. That's coming up when we return. No score with 7:19 to go in the first quarter.
All right. So I think on their first series from Jackson State, they pretty much had what they wanted. They were having their way. I think that the play calling on 3rd down, the route concepts on 3rd down should have been more driven toward beyond the 1st down mark, so that they would have been able to continue drives and put some points on the board. I do think that he did put the ball in a good spot for Dallas to make a catch. The defensive back does get his hand in there, but Dallas also got to give Sheduer room on the sideline to place the ball where Dallas can make a great catch, because that's what it takes right there when you got tight man-to-man and you're trying to bucket it. Alcorn, they did what I expected them to do. I didn't expect them to complete a pass, but that is C.J. Bowler, the Vanderbilt transfer. He does have strong hands going up against Travis. I think Travis was playing a little bit too well. I think he was expecting something else, but he got to step it up, knock that out, and handle his business as well, and then kind of go from there. But let's see what the Tigers do on this drive. This is a very important drive. It's already halfway through the first quarter. You want to get some points on the board. You were able to dictate to the defense, do what you wanted to do. You just didn't come away with points. You settled for going for it versus taking the 3. Rightfully so. And Alcorn wanted to blitz. I think that would have been the opportune time to sneak Wilkerson out of the backfield against that blitz to get the easy 1st down. I think that flare out would have helped him do what needed to be done. And, he possibly could have scored. But let's see if the Braves what the Braves do on this series, and let's see what Jackson State does with their adjustments.
By Cricket. Smile, you're on Cricket. And by Chevrolet. Find new roads. Still in the first quarter here in Lorman, Mississippi, the big battle between Alcorn State and Jackson State. The Tigers from JSU with the football, their 2nd possession of the ball game as they go back on offense. Sanders will throw on 1st down, and it's near the sidelines, and the official says out of bounds. He was trying to hit Dallas Daniels again, but he is out of bounds, not in play. That will go down as an incomplete pass.
Yeah, Daniels, their big-time target, 591 yards on the season, 8 touchdowns. He's definitely a guy that Sanders likes to hook up with there on that.
Yeah, he's been their leading receiver, and he's been just a transfer from Western Illinois. And Coach says he is definitely an NFL prospect. But this time they come right back to the running game. And banging inside hard is Savion Wilkerson again.
One thing you'll notice about Savion Wilkerson, when there's time to make no moves and just run straight forward and bang, he bangs. And then you'll watch him in inopportune times. Suddenly he'll do some cuts and cutbacks, and he's very nimble. So he's a unique running back. He's not just a one kind of guy. Because when you watch part of a game, he looks like just a hammer. And then all of a sudden later, you're like, is that the same guy? So he's got some unique skills.
Just a sophomore, but he's been around, had a stint at West Virginia and at Delaware State. So Sheduer Sanders with a pass to Wilkerson, and that is a first down. A big pass as he comes out of the backfield to make that catch.
Hey, I didn't mention he was good out of the backfield catching the ball, did I?
Got good hands.
And again, it was great because he just kind of slid out there. The defenders weren't paying much attention to him. He got open. And again, look at the accuracy of Sanders dropping that ball right in there. It is a big deal when you can put the football where someone can do something with it.
First down on the play, 1st and 10. They go back to Wilkerson inside, and he's going to pick up about 6 yards almost. This guy's getting almost 5 yards of crack.
Yeah, and I mean, it's impressive just watching that line move. And again, from that first drive to now, that offensive line's starting to get more movement because the pass is more successful, and they're spreading them out. And now that interior defense for the Braves is softening just a little bit.
2nd and 5 for Sheduer Sanders and the Jackson State offense. Sanders will throw it again. Looking near the sideline, and he goes high, intended for Daniels again. But as you can see, Sheduer Sanders early in this ball game has completed 7 of 9 for 49 yards. And now when you see that number, you can understand why his completion percentage is so high.
Yeah, I mean, but again, watch his reads, his pre-read before the play ever gets off. He knows where he's going, very deliberate. He doesn't stare down. You watch him a quick turn and deliver the ball, and he puts it where his receiver can get it, not towards the defender side.
3rd and 5 for the Tigers. Sanders will throw. Has some time. Goes over the middle, has a man wide open. That is a first down to Dallas Daniels. And the Tigers will move the sticks again.
That was like his second read. He was going to go outside, didn't see what he liked. See, he looks outside, then boom, he turns it right back inside, his second or third read. And again, puts it in a great place. He goes forward for the first down.
1st and 10. Sheduer Sanders looking deep, but this time it sails out of bounds. Once again, Dallas Daniels was the intended target down the sideline.
Daniels a little too far towards the sidelines. I think he needs to start that run right around the numbers. Stay in the numbers to give him some room on that outside.
We may ought to mention here that the Tigers have a new offensive coordinator this year. It's Brett Bartoloni, and he has done a fantastic job, has a great relationship with Sheduer, and they got that fast tempo offense working. So 2nd and 10 now for JSU. Sanders again looking for the end zone, has a man over there, and he overshot Willie Gaines, who actually had a step in the end zone.
You know, that's about a third pass today that we've seen. You know, if anyone goes and watches practice, there's always a part where quarterbacks, they call it drop it in a bucket. And sometimes they'll literally put a bucket out there and see if you can drop this ball high and into the inside a bucket. That's a third pass. He's really laid up there and let the receiver run under. He just has been a little off target.
Well, we watched him 2 weeks ago during warm-ups.
That's true.
And he was just putting that right on the money. I mean, he was just dropping it in there. He was dropping dimes all over the place. Yeah. So here we go. 3rd and 10 now. A big down for Jackson State. We're still in the first quarter. 5:11 to go. Sanders looking to pass. Blitz coming hard. Sanders has to sprint out of the pocket. Has some room, but he's going to be pulled down from behind. A great play by Sherriless. Claudine Sherriless with a big play right there. And, of course, he's one of their outstanding defensive players. Came up with a big stop.
Yeah, he's the second leading tackle, and he showed why. And really, watch his closing speed. That's what was impressive right here. He gets off a block and just hammers down there. Sanders thought he had more room than he had to run, and he shut him down.
So it's a 4th down and 4 this time, and now we see the field goal unit come on. It'll be a 38-yard field goal attempt by Alejandro Mata. His first attempt of the day. Came in 9 of 10 on this season, and his kick is up, and it is good. He is true and right on the money with that big kick, 39-yard field goal, and that will put Jackson State out in front with 4:19 to go here in the first quarter. So Coach Prime has to be happy about that. We'll be back with more in just a minute.
That's good coaching right there. You kind of wish you would have kicked the field goal the last drive. You'd be up 6-0 right there. And that, I think playing Alcorn and what they're trying to do, all points is good points for JSU. As long as you're scoring, because you know your defense is not going to give up scores. So the more you score, the more pressure you put on Alcorn. And that was a good drive. I mean, Sheduer missed gains. He was open, but he also, and I don't think many of you probably caught it first glimpse, but he also had Shane Hooks on the right side who ran an underneath route that was an easy first down. I mean, that read to Gaines was the right read. But had he came off that read and just went underneath, he has Shane wide open for a first down. You move the chains and you keep doing that. Even though Alcorn is playing bend but don't break and trying to keep things in front of them, there's still some holes out there. Sheduer just has to be able to hit that. And if he connects any of that stuff moving forward, it's going to be scary. Now I'm just ready to see how the kickoff team does, because last week they gave up a couple of big runs to Cox at Alabama A&M, and he was able to get his shine on. I know it's a nice little intimate group in here right now, man, but like the stream, share the stream. It's up, it's live. You know what I'm saying? Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. All right, so the game back.
Butch Alcindor and Jorge Vargas here with you. And as you can see, we're going to take time to remember the Virginia football players and that tragedy this week at UAV, where 3 football players were killed in just tragic circumstances there. And it's an opportunity to honor them. And here you see the comments from the ACC commissioner. Just a sad, sad time for everybody involved. They will be honored throughout the weekend. The Washington Redskins, we're going to have their numbers put on their on their helmets, decals put on their helmets for this week, and just a way to kind of just wish them the best and send out your thoughts and prayers to that situation there.
Yeah, and again, as he said in that statement, no words can really describe that type of situation. But one thing it does show in the football community, it's all one community, and I love the way football as a community comes together to support each other, from conference to teammates, rivals, etc. So certainly prayers and wishes go with them.
Back here in Lorman, Mississippi, you have Jackson State out in front 3-0 over Alcorn State based on that Alejandro Mata 38-yard field goal to give the Tigers a 3-0 lead as they settle for 3 on their second possession. So now we see the Braves coming out with their second possession, and I would imagine running the football is still high on their priority list.
It is, but Howard just three yards carrying right now, just 1 yard average. That's not going to get it done for them. They're going to have to come up with something explosive. And again, I think it, in the air, they've got to separate and create some room.
Jarvion Howard with a little room inside that time on that carry, so that's going to help out a lot. And as you can see, there's nothing but love between the two coaches. And this is Coach Prime talking about Coach Fred McNair, and he just has so much respect for the guy.
Yeah, I have the utmost respect. When I tell you the utmost, I mean one of the pillars and leaders of HBCUs. And I mean, that's exactly how he thinks of them. And again, I think that's fantastic when you see the admiration on both sides of the football from a coaching staff.
Yeah, you know, and we mentioned Steve McNair played there. Fred actually played at Alcorn also. And they come back to Howard again, and he tries to turn the corner, and he's pulled down from behind. Just could not get around that corner. Had a little daylight on the outside. Couldn't reach it, though.
Yeah, that was the one that got away from him. I think that's one they'll look back later and go, man, if I had just taken a step quicker, we would have made something happen out of that. But, again, great recovery from the Tigers.
Got to watch the screen.
Again, they're daring him to throw.
So on 3rd and 4, the pass is complete. He's trying to get the first down, and now he has the first down as he steps out of bounds. That is C.J. Bowler with the catch and the first down for the Braves.
Yeah, Bowler made a really good strategic run. When I say it was just a smart run, he gets the ball Doesn't try to do too much, but he flows where there's open hole. It sounds silly, but he flows where there's no white jerseys, right? And he got the most out of that run.
He got a big block there to spring him by the other wide receiver. So 1st and 10 for Alcorn State, and quarterback Trey Lawrence, number 13, has been leading the way. Came into this, one of the things Coach McNair said about him is he's very cool under pressure, and that's a great quality to have in a quarterback. He's going to throw it on 1st down. Comes inside, Bowler had his head turned, never saw it, so it goes down as an incomplete pass.
Yeah, that was just not on the same page right there. Bowler sure wasn't ready for that one. And again, they look pretty fearless about throwing the ball. I think they understand they're going to have to throw the ball to have some success here, to open up some room for Howard. And so they are playing fearless. And again, if you're playing for a chance to get in the championship game, I guess you better be fearless, right?
2nd and 10 coming up for the Braves. That's the thing about it. You always want to have a chance. They do have an opportunity, but they do need a lot of help, and we'll talk about that later as Jarvion Howard is caught and dropped for a loss in the backfield. A lot of white jerseys right there for Jackson State to bring him down.
Yeah, I mean, this was a jailbreak in the backfield of the Braves. I mean, it was impressive. Everyone coming off Jeremiah Brown, I think, led the charge with the confusion there. And then just a bunch of Tigers just went and had lunch.
Jeremiah Brown, first Tiger to get there. Of course, he has 4.5 sacks on the year. So he's an active guy. So now we have a big 3rd down. And this is the situation they were trying to stay out of. 3rd and 13 for your young quarterback, Trey Lawrence, 6'3", 185-pounder out of Jacksonville. Big down. This time he gives to Howard, and Howard breaks a tackle, and Howard is going to actually get it a lot closer to that 1st down than it first appeared.
Yeah, but again, the Tigers will give that up. It was 13 yards. They probably gave up 8 on that one, it looks like. And again, they came and attacked it. They got to make sure they make the tackles.
4th down and 4 yards, so we will see the punting team come on the field for Alcorn State. And Coach Fred McNair talked so glowingly about Noah Keone. He said when the season started, they didn't have a punter. They went to Keone and said, "You're our punter, man. You're just going to have to make it work." And he said as the season has gone on and on, he's gotten better and better. And here he is with a punt attempt. He's averaging about 33 a kick now. We'll get a good bounce on that one as the ball rolls away from Gaines. And it's going to be touchdown at about the 12-yard line. So that is where Jackson State will start when we come back. 3-0 Tigers. We'll be right back in a minute.
To them, the whole world looks like.
Well, Alcorn tried to respond. They're a little predictable. Really, a lot predictable. But the scheme, you know they're going to run, but you don't know well. You know they want to throw, but you don't look at it. So you have to look at the formation. The bubble screen inside the bowler and then the cutback and good block by the receiver outside kind of got him where he needed to be. When they go trips like that, you have to realign that and you got to go and press the center guy, not allowing him to be able to set an edge for a cutback to happen in case the receiver do come back underneath. Because the initial defense against that route was good. That's why Bowler had to cut back outside. But the kids made a couple of throws. There's really hasn't been too much pressure in his face. And I expect him to work to get the ball out of his hand real quick. He can't hold the ball. And I think he's been coached all week to not hold the ball because Jackson State will get there. So with that being said, I mean, it is what it is. The defense, the defensive front seven just has to continue to be relentless and apply pressure. Again, man, like the stream, share the stream. I'm pretty sure everybody over somewhere where they got about 1,000 people that watching the game. And that's cool. I'm sure other people are coming here. They get tired of somebody talking during the play-by-play. But the game should be resuming right here. Hold on.
And then they have to hope that Prairie View loses to Mississippi Valley.
Right, and Texas Southern and Southern lose. So they need some help, but they've got a chance.
Hey, you keep fighting as long as you have a chance. So 1st and 10 for the Tigers, and Sanders again with that long pass, and it's to Daniels again. So far, that's been an active combination in this ball game.
Yeah, and Daniels is his favorite target. Makes no bones about it, and he's going right out to him. They've had several opportunities, and again, it's really like a great run. 4 or 5 yards a pop? That's not bad.
Andrew Smith on the tackle for the Alcorn State Braves. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 7 after the gain of 3, and they go back to the running game. And it's Wilkerson trying to get to the outside. Check that. This time that's going to be number 38 on the carry, Santee Marshall, who's done a good job filling in.
Yeah, and it was supposed to go left a little bit, and, man, there was a whole house of Braves on the left side, so he had to run to the right real quick.
Hey, Marshall is that explosive guy. He has a long run of 91 yards this year, so he has the speed to take it a long way when he breaks loose. Transferred from Miles College. Now we have whistles on the field. And that is the end of the first quarter, of the very strong defensive first quarter by both teams. Jackson State and Alcorn State, as you see Sheduer Sanders going over to the sideline there. We'll be back with more in just a minute.
Big third down right here. Very big third down. I didn't think that they would go to a commercial like that quick, but it is what it is. Yeah, man, they got it jumping in them other chats. I don't think y'all want to be in here, man. I don't think y'all want to be in this mug. But we're gonna continue to get a good game. So it is what it is. Yep. Hold on 1 second, y'all. He was pre-gaming. Hey, where is L Swanigan? Where you at? I know where Aaron at. I know where he at. But yeah, man, like the stream, share the stream. We live in this thing. Everybody live. I'm seeing people I ain't never seen live before live. Yep. Dude, he doing the whole talking. I got the game on, bro. We ain't doing all that. All right. Back to reality. Okay, so Jackson State, what y'all gonna do right here? Austin from Jackson. Ew, are they going? Is JSU gonna make a play right here on this third down? They got it. I mean, Alcorn is trying to keep everything in front of them. They playing a shell, but there's holes in the defense. I don't care what defense they run. They can't stop Jackson State. Only Jackson State can stop themselves.
Packed house on hand in Lorman, Mississippi for this one. Alcorn State trailing Jackson State 3-0 as we get set to start the second quarter. And you see the dance girls right there from Jackson State. the Sonic Boom of the South. And that's going to be a great halftime show coming up today. Can't wait to see that one. But let's get the second quarter underway here with Sheduer Sanders on 3rd and 7. Steps up in the pocket, has a lot of room in front that he's going to slide down with the first down. So a good read by Sheduer Sanders.
Yeah, no, he was very smart in the way he slid here. And again, remember last time we saw him slide a couple weeks ago, he slid a little way too early because they mark the ball where you start your slide, where your intent of slide is. So he went a little further and made sure he got that first down.
So now a flag comes in before they could get the snap away quickly, and it's illegal procedure.
56, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Thank you, Preston Clipper, for that word. It's illegal procedure against the offense, so they will back it up 5.
Sounds like Tyler Brown had a little twitching going on there on the line of scrimmage there. So left guard.
He's a transfer from Louisiana Lafayette. Big fella, 6'3", 319 pounds. He's a sophomore. Actually, a hometown is Jackson, Mississippi, so came back home. 1st and 15 now for Sanders and the offense. Sanders under pressure is caught and dropped for a big loss by Malachi Bailey, number 44, who was in the backfield and came up with a huge play.
Woo, man, he was on a mission. You know, he loved that one. When they were able to get Sanders. Now watch the pressure. He starts early, goes inside, and then he just stays on it. He is relentless on the inside. Started on the outside of the tackle and then just kind of slid inside. And he's rubbing his belly like, I'm full.
Bailey, 6'2", 260-pound junior with a big play in the first sack of the ball game. So now it's second and a long ways for Jackson State. Sanders under pressure again, and he's hit near his own end zone, caught and dropped at about the 3-yard line. So coming with the pressure is Alcorn State. Number 99 also there for the Braves with a big play.
Stop
Chris
holding the
Ballard,
ball,
number 99.
bro.
I'll tell you what, they're playing big. You wear number 99, you got to be big, and he was. Look at him from the offensive defensive tackle. He just came to the outside and just kept coming. And then once he grabbed a hold of him, he wasn't going to let him go.
Draw play.
But great pressure by several guys on Alcorn State. Billy Gather as well.
For 2 consecutive plays in a row.
And it gets his crowd going crazy over here. I mean, that's what's good. Great crowd here, and they're giving him something to cheer about.
We have a timeout on the field, so we're going to take a time off. We're going to take a timeout in the booth. The life for Alcorn State. Sheduer Sanders in the pocket trying to go deep, but he could not get it off as Ballard is there for the stop. We'll be right back in just a minute.
First play, he tried to go big. That's why he held the ball. But, bro, you got the arm talent. Stop holding it. Just launch that joker 60 yards. Let everybody know that you can throw it 60 and let them just run up underneath. I'm surprised we have not seen Travis yet in these early first few series. And I think that's strategic. I think it's strategic. He should have been in though. This drive, JSU got away from what they were doing. They didn't try to make any rushing attempts. They came out to pass, and it is what it is. But they're not gonna get this third down converted. It's 3rd and 40. Dang near. They can pop a 15-yard run right here, draw, but Alcorn is gonna be looking for that right now, and they on the goal line. But you're trying to create room so that you also can punt because you really need to punt. But I think they should have came out if they wanted to spread them when they went 5 wide and put Santee in the slot. Just quick game it, bro. Just quick game it. You had Santee on the flat. Let him juke, make a move and go. You know, but he was trying to let them get down the field so he can just hit the big home run. Really trying to score a touchdown. I feel you, though. Haven't seen Malachi yet. Seen some people though. They've been running people in and out.
Big crowd on hand today with Jackson State out in front 3-0. But the Tigers have themselves in a huge hole as Sheduer Sanders now operating out of his own end zone. We're looking at a 3rd and 36 after the back-to-back sacks by the Alcorn State Braves. And the Tigers are just going to run the quarterback sneak, and Sheduer Sanders is going to get about 6 yards out of the quarterback sneak. But that's a good, safe play in that situation.
Yeah, that they wanted just some room to be able to punt the ball so there's no craziness going on. And that was a good safe call. Didn't even bother with a handoff. We're going to scrum it as far as we can go forward, and we're going to fall and punt from there.
So Sam Johnson will come on to punt the football away. It'll be his first opportunity of the afternoon. And back to return it is Manny Jones for the Alcorn State Braves. So Johnson punting out of his own end zone here. Snap is a good snap, and the pressure was on, but he gets the kick away. And Jones makes a fair catch. So Alcorn will have great field position when we come back. 12:21 to go here in the second quarter with Jackson State out in front, 3-0.
Those 2 sacks on Sheduer, not the offensive line, because if he just steps up and takes the dig route or takes the out route, because they running levels. If he takes the dig route right there, that comes underneath the post or the go, depending on who was running it, he handled his business. But man, it's 3 straight timeouts. Commercial breaks. Malachi shot Malachi in the foot when he didn't make his grades and he had to fight to get back eligible. He'll be playing basketball this year, of course. But I look to see him back on the team. I don't think he's going nowhere, man. He has a whole understanding. I don't think he's frustrated. He already transferred from UT, where he wasn't even on the field. You know what I'm saying? And then he wasn't on the field initially at JSU. He had to learn the offense. He was behind. So it just goes back to that. I mean, he loved Coach Sanders. Coach Sanders loved him. We just got to see, you know. Dallas is gone. Shane Hooks is gone. Stevens is gone. So there's spots that open up for people to come right back in there and handle their business. I don't know if Cam Buckley is a grad student himself, but I expect there to be hell of a competition for those receiving spots. Coleman got his locked down. He in the slot. Will Gaines join him? You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
Butch Alcindor along with Jorge Vargas with you for Jackson State and Alcorn State. The Braves with the football. This is Lawrence scrambling out of the pocket, gets by Aubrey Miller, steps out of bounds with the first down for the Braves. So how about Trey Lawrence making a big play on first down? They started with great field position right there.
Yeah, and this is huge for them. If they're writing a script of how they want this game to go, right now it's perfectly scripted for them. They're getting enough passes to spread it out, and that right there was a perfect window. Looks like he's going to pass and runs it.
So on first down, Lawrence looking to pass again. Ball is caught at about the 2-yard line. A great job coming back for the catch was Montario Hunt. He did a great job. I thought that one might be a little underthrown, but it was perfect for what they were trying to do.
I thought if the defender turned around, he would be able to break on it, but he did a great job of just looking outside and busting back inside.
On first down for the end zone, and it's a touchdown for the Braves. So they come out quickly, and it's Jarvion Howard who bangs it in with the first touchdown of the ball game.
Like I said, they're on script, exactly what they wanted to happen. And again, they get the big pass play, and they don't play around. They just hurry up, go to the line of scrimmage, run the ball right at them, don't let them settle down, and before the Tigers know it, they got punched in the mouth.
Jarvion Howard, their leading rusher in the SWAC, put on a nice little move in the backfield, and then when he knew he could, dove into the end zone for the touchdown, and the Braves take the lead right at the 11:42 mark here in the second quarter. So Keone's out for the extra point attempt. And his kick is good. And how about the Alcorn State Braves? They had great field position after the turnover, and then the big pass set it up.
Yeah, and again, the pass before where he wound up running it, right? Cleared the way, then you come right back with another pass, throw it perfectly to receiver, he reacts, and then watch. Boom, you dump it right inside to your running back, who's the top in the SWAC, and you say, go get it, fella. And he sure does. He dives in there, just gets in there for the touchdown. Again, Howard, while not blowing anything up, 2.1 a carry, just 17 yards on the ground, but he's doing enough, and they're passing enough. And right there was huge. They took advantage of great field position, and they didn't just get 3, they got 7.
That was touchdown number 12 on the year for Jarvion Howard, the leading rusher in the Southwestern Athletic Conference. And the thing about him is his coach just raves about his physical abilities. He said they're off the chart. And we saw it right there.
Yeah.
A little tap dance to avoid the contact in the backfield, and then he dodged in.
Yeah, he showed off his spring ability, right? Being able to jump there. But Lawrence, 3 of 5. So just 3 of 5, 60%, 51 yards, but they are excellent 51 yards. Exactly what they need out of them right now.
They took full advantage of the great field position, and now in the ensuing kickoff, Jackson State is trying to do the same thing, but the Braves come up with a big tackle on Kevin Coleman on the return. So Coleman's going to be stopped, and this home crowd is fired up for Alcorn State today. They're pulling for their Braves.
Yeah, it looks like Geno Johnson, number 23 there. I mean, you can talk about a tackle where you meet someone head on. He just everything stops, and he just wouldn't let go, stayed on him, and just stopped him cold. That's huge, an open field tackle like that. Great job. Watch. He cuts, perfect form tackle, and he just stays inside. Look, he's trying to grab that ball. He will not let him go till that whistle blows.
That touchdown really got this crowd engaged, and that's going to be a big advantage for Alcorn State. You know, you're playing in this stadium, and Coach McNair admitted it. He said, this is our goal.
Hold on, y'all. Oh, ESPN.
Really fired up, and you mentioned the fans here. I mean, this Marino Kasem Stadium holds 22,500. It is full. It is full today, and with a lot of excitement.
You see the total yardage very close. Jackson State with 93, Alcorn with 84. So that's exactly what we've seen so far. It was a defensive struggle until that touchdown a few seconds ago. So now 2nd and 9 for Sheduer Sanders in the offense. He rolls to his right, looks over the middle, has a man wide open. It's Daniels, and Daniels is cracked down hard, but that's a huge gain right there for Jackson State.
Huge open space in that middle, and again, a great job of just going right to the open hole. Again, good play action pass, and then Sanders getting rid of the ball. And again, he goes right in the middle of that zone.
Well, he's targeted number 4 a lot in this ball game, the graduate student Dallas Daniels. So a big first down for Jackson State. Sanders looking to throw again. Comes down near the sidelines, was trying to hit Daniels again, but number 21, Andrew Smith, was right there, and you're going to see the official run up to him and said, not too much. We don't need any more of that taunting stuff going on.
I like when refs do that. They warn the guys and say, look, I'm going to have to throw a flag if you keep doing that, but they give them a verbal warning first. A lot of times people think, oh, well, they're throwing flags too. But usually they've warned a player. Good refs have warned a player once, unless it's just their first flagrant where it's so bad they can't do a warning.
So the incomplete pass sets up a 2nd and 10 for the Tigers from JSU. Sanders will throw it again. Pressure, has to get out of the pocket. He scrambles to his right. Has some room over there, but he can't get past Ellis. Terrence Ellis, the leading tackler on that defense, is over there for the open field stop.
And again, open field tackling, a lot of people don't realize how hard it is when you're talking about the athletes on offense that have so many moves to be able to stalk someone down, an athlete like Sanders, as he's coming around that side. And just watch him. He catches that edge, and just watch Ellis break down, just stays on the inside, and just make sure he takes him to the sideline.
Yeah, I think they got Devin Hayes for holding on the play, so Jackson State will go the other way. You saw it right at the end of that replay at the bottom of your screen. It looked like number 79 grabbed the jersey, and so they're going to mark that one off. So the holding penalty will go against the Tigers, and that will wipe out a good defensive play, but I'm sure Alcorn State will take it.
That's
because
right.
Now it's 2nd and 20 to go for the Tigers. Give us to Wilkerson, and he has a little hole, and Wilkerson will almost get the penalty yardage back there. Nice run.
And I think that run right there will put him over 1,000 for the season right there. He was only 4 yards off before that run, so I think he has 1K, as Coach Brown.
You know, that pass earlier to Dallas Daniels, the big play went for 32 yards from Sanders to Dallas Daniels in the play. So now a big 3rd down for Jackson State. 3rd and 13. Sanders under pressure again, and he goes down again. Number 44, that is Malachi Bailey with his 2nd sack of the day.
Yeah, Coach Fred there talked about the fact for success for them was going to have to be putting pressure on Sanders and making sure he felt them. Well, he's feeling them all right because they're breathing on him, they're grabbing him, they are getting him down. And again, it's not just it is team that they're rushing their lanes, staying true, and putting pressure on him. And I'll be honest with you, Sanders looks a little bit too, I don't know if lackadaisical is the word, or he looks way too calm and way not too worried about that rush.
That wasn't a good series for number 79, Devin Hayes. He was guilty of the holding penalty, and on that play got beat for the sack. So it just wasn't a good series for that young man, as Alcorn State will get the football back after the fair catch was made by Manny Jones. Manny Jones jogs off, so we're going to jog off for a timeout with the Alcorn State Braves out in front 7-3. We'll be right back.
What I'm seeing right now is not really the offensive line, is more so the development of the route combinations. Sheduer seeing the field and then trusting what he sees or waiting for something to come open. So it may be route combinations or what his expectations are per the coverage. Do I see problems? No, I just think it's Jackson State going through the motion, doing what Jackson State normally does. They just go through the motion, and then all of a sudden, you know what I mean, they kind of wake up. But this ain't one of those games where you want to you don't want to play that way, because you really control the first quarter. You shot yourself in the foot a couple of times, but you got to go back and take those same shots. And you just you came off a big play. You should have been in hurry. And I think the tempo, I think that's the problem that I'm having with the game, is the tempo. I think they come out and speed the game back up with quick throws and handoffs. They can get back to doing what they're gonna do. But right now, they just going through the motion offensively. And it's gonna be like that till about after halftime. On everything, it's gonna be like that. So the game is back.
Chevrolet.
We have a surprising start to this one today. The 5-5 Alcorn Braves are leading the 10-0 Jackson State Tigers 7-3 in this ballgame. Alcorn still alive in the West.
Hey, they got to win today. They know that. And right now they're handling that part of their script. But then they got to have Mississippi Valley State and Prairie View A&M, Alabama A&M beat Texas Southern, and Grambling State get a win over Southern.
So Lawrence comes out with another pass, and he completes it to Montario Hunt over near the sideline.
And that's huge, the passing game for them. If they can just keep the Tigers backed off just a little bit and respect that pass, that'll help their running game, help them do exactly what they need to do.
You know, for most of the year, this Jackson State defense has been #1 in the nation. And a long pass from Lawrence down the sideline is going to go down as an incomplete pass. But when you look at it, #1 in total defense, giving up only like 213 yards a game. #1 in rushing defense, allowing only 98.2 a game, and then #1 in passing defense, giving up 115 a game.
Well, in fairness to the defense, so they haven't really given up a ton of yardage, but it's just the plays at the right time. Alcorn, that big pass play was huge for them getting that touchdown. And again, get 7 instead of just trying to get 3 points with that great field position. Right now, let's see what they can do with this drive.
Third and 4 for the Braves. Lawrence looking to pass. He's hit from behind. That could be a fumble. The ball is loose. It's picked up, and it's going to be recovered and dropped at the 1-yard line. So a big play right there by Jackson State. 42, Jeremiah Brown made the recovery.
Yeah, big number 92, though, laid the absolute hammer there. Justin Rajan. He's a guy who likes tackles behind the line of scrimmage. He leads the team in that, and right there, it paid off huge for them. They got their big play they've been looking for. Look at him. Woo!
Justin Rajan with a big play coming in, hit the quarterback from the blind side, and then Jeremiah Brown just about had himself a defensive touchdown.
What's funny is I think he thought he was already there.
It gets confusing for those big fellas down there. They don't know which line is the goal line.
That's right. Well, they're not used to when I'm supposed to dive with the ball, but if he'd have just kind of started diving for the touchdown.
And we were just talking about the impact this Jackson State defense can have, how good they've been all season long, and they come up with a huge turnover on the play. So Jackson knocking on the door here. They give to Wilkerson, and he walks in for the touchdown for JSU. Savion Wilkerson takes it in, and Jackson State will go back out in front.
Yeah, I think the Tigers fans are happy with us, but I don't think the Alcorn fans are, because we just mentioned that defense, and you're right. They pay dividends with a big impact play, and the Tigers offense wastes no time giving it to Wilkerson, getting in the end zone, getting their 7. When you have opportunity to take full advantage of them.
And that's what they've been all year. They've been an opportunistic defense. When you really think about it, you know, they're averaging only giving up 9.8 a game. It's an incredible number. And then now Jackson State with the opportunity to move right back out in front, to tag on a little more. And the extra point attempt is good by the Tigers, as Alejandro Mata with an extra point there. And Jackson State taking full advantage of the turnover. Coach Prime's team, they go to Wilkerson, and he bangs it in for the touchdown there. Actually, he was untouched. 10-7. JSU out in front.
All right, so listen. I know what's wrong with the game. I don't know why I didn't say this earlier, but I know what's wrong with Sheduer. He pressing. That's why you're seeing the overthrows. Man, he trying to break the touchdown record. If he throws for 1 touchdown, he breaks the touchdown record. So go back to the first quarter where you seen a couple of overthrows or just a little bit bad ball placement. He pressing. That's what this is. Him holding the ball and getting sacked on the last drive. That's him pressing. It's him pressing. But Alcorn got too comfortable. The play calling got too comfortable. They were like, okay, we just completed a couple of passes. We can do something. Yeah, I know. I didn't want to say nothing, Joe Eagle. I didn't want to say nothing at all, man. I was trying to trick everybody into halftime, but you know what I'm saying? I was trying to trick everybody to halftime. You done came in here and spoiled it, man. You know, you done came in here and spoiled it. But yeah, they are winning. They winning. They up. But listen, when Alcorn finds out that PV is losing, that's pressure on Alcorn. But Alcorn got too relaxed and too cocky and was like, all right, we finna throw the ball instead of turning around and trying to hand the ball off. And it cost them right there. Ultimately, it cost them. That right there changes the whole complexity of the game because, you were just winning and now you down. And JSU offense is really on pause right now because their quarterback trying to throw a touchdown.
Welcome back, everyone. That last drive, only 2 yards. it was a Savion Wilkerson touchdown. That's because the big turnover, the big hit by Justin Rajan there that set up the fumble, and then it was recovered by Jeremiah Brown, and Wilkerson took it in for the touchdown for Jackson State.
Yeah, it's got the fans for Jackson State who are here. Plenty of them traveled up here for the game. I can't say enough. Great atmosphere out here. And again, when Jackson State shows up, it is a packed house here. Great environment, and it certainly woke them up. And we're going to see what that does now to the Braves. Can they answer? They've answered so far. Let's see if they can get their offense back on the track.
They're going to get an opportunity here with 8:06 to go here in the second quarter, and they will start 1st and 10 at about the 23-yard line where they will go on offense. That is Nico Duffy on the return, but he has not much room there on the return. So we actually saw the passing game start to pick up a little bit for the Braves, and I'm sure we'll see more of that on this drive.
Again, just 4 of 7, 57 yards, nothing eye-popping, but it's just enough to keep the Tigers off balance. We'll see if they attack. I think they need to keep that passing game rolling and really not just get where they're handing the ball off on first down for sure.
So 1st and 10 for the Braves. Trey Lawrence has gone all the way today at quarterback. Going deep this time, has a man out there. There's some contact, and the flag comes out. So that will be a penalty against the Tigers from Jackson State.
Yeah, I want to say it looked like holding.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 27. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
Jalen Hughes. Yeah, see, he's grabbing the back of that jersey there. Pushing on. Very light, though.
Yeah, he was trying to push off on Juan Anthony there, who they were stride for stride there for a minute, and then the penalty will go against the Tigers. So a big play for the Alcorn State Braves on the penalty. They will get a first down, and now the football is up near the 40-yard line. Lawrence trying to throw inside, and he had it to his man, Hunt, but he couldn't hang on because Travis Hunter is right there to just rip it out of there.
I think other than quarterback, a cornerback has to be the hardest position to play because you're playing one of the fastest guys on the opposite team, and you have to react without breathing on them. Otherwise, you get penalties.
Just a great play by Travis Hunter. And Coach Bryant likes to put him in one-on-one situations where he can have his man to himself, and he's just done an outstanding job in that role.
He gives him that Dion treatment, really. He says, just take care of this. We don't worry about this player.
There you go,
Second
baby.
and 10 now for the Braves. The pass near the sideline is picked off. And it's picked off by Travis Hunter. Hunter avoids one would-be tackle. Hunter has one man to beat, and it's a touchdown for Jackson State. Again, the defense making the plays on defense as Hunter comes in and steals the interception away and then returns it for the touchdown.
I saw that.
Big-time defense, plays big time in big moments. And again, watch him break on the ball. He had one good play just a second ago, then comes back and beats the receiver to the point of the ball. And then, hey, how about the return moves there? Nice little swish move there and right into the end zone, throws the ball at the fence of the fans. Look at that. You go to the point of attack, right? The same thing when that ball's out there. You go get it. It's your ball as much as anyone else.
Yeah, Travis Hunter does double duty for the Tigers. When we asked Coach Brian what will he do on offense, he says Travis is going to do what Travis does best. And we saw a little bit right there of what Travis does best. An outstanding return. It was an outstanding interception.
Yep.
And then the run back to put another touchdown on the board for Jackson State.
And again, this is within a minute and a half. You got the defense basically giving you 14 points at this extra point is good.
Just completely turn the game around, and that extra point is good.
And again, Butch, we talked about, prior to that fumble a little bit ago, the script for the Braves was absolutely perfect. Exactly how they wanted this game to go. Everything was going just as planned. And again, then you get the fumble return, almost a touchdown. Then you get this one. Hunter jumping the point of attack. Nice move there with a little swim kind of move. And then he goes right into the end zone for the touchdown.
Well, this guy is electric once he has the football in his hands, but his ability to cover, and just on the play before, we saw his one-on-one skills as he followed the receiver all the way inside on the slant, knocked the football away, and then they challenged him again, and then, boy, it did not pay off.
Yeah, and again, you're right. The play before was beautiful because he was right alongside that receiver, and then at the very perfect moment, his hand just popped out and slapped the ball right as it was going to the receiver. So the receiver really can't even get a grip on it. He was knocking it out as the receiver's hands was touching it. And I don't care how good a receiver you are, you can't catch a ball with your hand get slapped as soon as the ball touches your fingers.
Yeah, Coach Travis Hunter, very highly recruited coming out of high school, decided to go to Jackson State and made national news when he picked Jackson State over some of the Power 5 conferences, as we do have a penalty flag down on the kickoff return. It was brought back by number 10, Manny Jones, but we'll check out the flag here in just a minute. But he was highly recruited because he's an electric player, and he reminds a lot of people of his head coach, Coach Prime.
Well, a lot of the big boys.
A foul for blocking in the back. We do not have a foul. First down, Alcorn.
Do not have a foul. So we do not
Maryland
have a foul.
worse than
Foul was
stealing.
throwing the flag when you shouldn't.
Now you're down 10.
Always good news. So the Alcorn State Braves will get the football back, and now they're trailing 17-7 in the ball game.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to switch out quarterbacks here, Butch.
Bad move.
Alcorn State going to a new quarterback.
They're running the ball.
Tavarius Adams, who's also a wide receiver. In fact, he's listed as a wide receiver. Played some at quarterback last week, but just came in and handed off the football a couple of times. So this is something they did last week when they were on offense, when they beat Bethune-Cookman University 17-14. They did bring in Tavarius Adams to maneuver at quarterback for a couple of plays. Yeah, the defense has taken over in this one. Just an outstanding job.
And again, you get that kind of pressure hammered, take it down to the 2-yard line. Right after that, your running back's going to take it in, and again, and then you put the pressure. You come right back after a great cornerback, and you get intercepted, return for a touchdown.
So the Braves go back to the running game and pick up a couple of yards inside. Just outstanding. And it all started with Ragin making that big play to force the fumble. The ball squirts out and it's recovered on the 2-yard line by Jeremiah Brown. Then you saw the big score right there by the running back on the play, taking it in for Jackson State. That was their main guy, Wilkerson, on the touchdown. And then Travis Hunter. That was just electric. That's a word that came to mind for me. Just electric on the return.
Yeah, he has that Dion kind of swagger when he gets the football, no question about it. But for the Braves right now, they can't focus on all that. They have to just one play at a time. Don't let the score.
3rd and 3 now. They go back to the running game, and he's not going to get to the sticks. Great job by the Tigers on defense. Dennis Thurman, the defensive coordinator for the Jackson State Tigers, and they do a good job of turning him away.
Juriente Davis led the charge. Watch him right there. 32 just gets on him. He just uses that leg strength, and then his friends come and help him out. But he was not letting him get forward.
That was Javante Leatherwood on the carry. And this guy, his coach says he never sees this guy get knocked backwards. And that time, several Tigers picked him up, and they dropped him short of the first down. So the punting unit comes out. That'll bring on Noah Keone to try to kick the football away for Alcorn State. And it's a short kick off the side of the foot. It goes over the 50, though. Got a good bounce there. But for a second there, it looked like it was going to be very bad news for Alcorn. But he did get a nice rollout off the kick.
Yeah, when the ball's your friend and it's bouncing for you, great, it's awesome. But sometimes it'll backdoor you, and that's when it gets trouble.
We were talking a little bit about the defensive coordinator, Dennis Thurman, because he, like his head coach, Coach Prime, he has an NFL background, spent many years in the NFL. And when we talked to Coach Prime about the job Thurman is doing, he said, what makes him so good is the way he communicates with his players. He said he has a knack for communicating with the players. And as you can see, Savion Wilkerson is now over 1,000 yards on the season. Coach Prime said he would get him his grand today, and there you go. And here he is on the handoff again. Wilkerson with a big run off tackle.
And again, what's he getting? His average about 5.4 a carry. I don't care what level you're on. You get five and a quarter there, or 5.4 on a run. That's pretty special.
Tough yardage there, and Wilkerson again getting a workout in this one. Not going to have much going on there. It was 2nd and 4.
What's interesting about Wilkerson, when you're able to get a look at him, no matter what the play is, you can't tell if they're winning, losing, if he had a good run or a bad run. He's kind of a poker player as far as his body language and what he does. He just, give me the ball, I'll run. If I'm not running, I'm not running. Right? I mean, there's no.
Jackson State with the motion to the right. Sheduer Sanders on 3rd and 3, looking for Wilkerson. Dumps it off and is incomplete as he tried to hit Santee Marshall, who snuck out of the backfield right there, but the defense would not be fooled on the play. Andrew Smith quickly over there to make the stop. So now Jackson State is in a punting situation.
And the Braves defense did what they need to do now, and I think that's where the Braves need to settle down, right, and just go back to the game plan. If you get too focused on what just happened and some of these bad breaks, then you're not gonna handle your game plan. They've got something to play for. They're trying to play for a chance to get in the championship game, and if they're going to do that, they're going to have to just keep focused, one play at a time.
That's a great point because it's just a 17-10, 17-7 ball game, and we do have a whistle on the field, but it doesn't feel like that because those defensive plays came back to back.
As their second charge timeout of the half, this will be a 30-second timeout.
Yeah, the bubble burst really quick. But at the end of the day, right, you were up on them, and we were just saying about, hey, the script was perfect, everything was going the Braves' way, and then just that quick bang, bang, things turned around. But, again, that's where the Braves just recollect themselves, and I know Coach Fred McNair is getting his guys back settled down and say, look, I don't care what happened. Let's focus on the right now. And, again, they're going to have to figure out a way to get enough offense so to have a drive here and get some points. Doesn't have to be a touchdown on this one. But you have 4:29 left in the second. You got to make something happen.
So Jackson State getting set to punt the football away on 4th and 3. Sam Johnson will do the honors again. He gets his foot into that one, and a fair catch is called for and made by Manny Jones. So the Alcorn State Braves go back on the attack, and that's, you just touched on it a minute ago. We were trying to say it's a 17-7 game, but because of the way the defensive explosion happened, it actually seemed like a lot more.
Yeah, it did. And again, I think that's because things just went awry very fast. And again, you're seeing Lawrence come back out as your quarterback, and that's, now they got to get back on track and run their game plan.
Well, they have a package. It's more like a running package for Tavarius Adams. And so now they go back to Lawrence, and a big hole right up the middle for Howard, the leading rusher in the SWAC, banging his way forward. If you're just joining us, he had the Alcorn State touchdown.
Tate Davis is playing really well in the game. He's already got 7 tackles.
2nd and 5 for Alcorn State. We're kind of slowing it down a little bit now. Lawrence is going to throw it. Lost it deep, has his man, and a nice over-the-shoulder catch. Just a great catch right there by C.J. Bowler.
What Bowler did right there, he set up his quarterback for success. That ball was he slowed down to make the DB slow down with him, and then he accelerated to go get the ball. That was a great job by your receiver creating the space.
He beat Isaiah Bolden on the play. 1st down for the Braves. And here comes Howard with a couple of nice moves. Howard's still on his feet. He got very close to another 1st down. It's going to depend on where they put it down, but he's very close to moving the sticks again.
Yeah, if you hear the term keep your wheels going, that's exactly what Howard did there. Going backwards and forward, whatever angle he had, he kept his legs churning and heading up the field.
3:14 to go in the half, and the Braves go back to Howard again. That's the 1st down as he picks up 6, maybe 7 yards on the carry.
Yeah, the Braves, when you said a minute ago, slowing it down, they know they don't. Time is not the issue here. They want to leave no time on the clock for the Tigers and get down there and score. So they're just focused on being methodical, get down the field and score.
Howard is a transfer from Syracuse. This time, Lawrence in trouble, and he's going to go down with a sack in the backfield. So pressure again from the JSU Tigers.
That was a community sack.
You got to figure out how to split this one.
Yeah, watch him in here. I don't know if there's a halves or thirds or quarters they're going to do with
Baron
this.
Hobson got there first, and then he had a lot of help from his friends. So it goes down as a Jackson State sack.
Yeah, they'll give 0.1s and 0.2 sacks for several guys.
Make that 35 on the season. They came into this game with 34 sacks. And that's going to really interrupt this drive because Alcorn State had something nice going on here, and that big sack is going to bring up 2nd and 16 now. So they go back to the running game, give it to Leatherwood, and he takes it straight ahead. Not much happening there.
But that's going to give them, a little bit of an opportunity to create something here. I like the play call there. Get themselves 3-4 more yards up and see if they can get themselves a crack here at 3rd down. But they're trying to make the time. They're milking this clock. They have no hurry because they want to make sure the Tigers don't have tons of time as well.
We're down to the 1:37 mark here in the first half. Big 3rd down here. Huge play in the ball game. Because like you said, Jorge, they would love to go to the locker room with some points, adding some more points on the board. Lawrence on 3rd and 13. And now we have a whistle on the field. Did they take too much time, or was there a timeout? Timeout.
Before the flag for delay of game. Timeout. Alcorn. First charge, timeout of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout. 30 seconds.
So did they give them a delay of game and they used the timeout after the delay of game?
No, I don't think so. I think the timeout was called first. And so the timeout is the
so
timeout.
they saved it.
Yes.
They saved it. Okay.
They stayed here. Coach McNair with his first timeout of the half and 1:15 to go. How aggressive do you get on this play? It's 3rd and 13. You want to put something on the board, but you don't want to give Jackson State another shot.
I think what you try to do is you run, and again, I always love slants in these situations. It's a little bit more of a protective throw. Your receiver can open his numbers, run a nice clean pass to the inside, and then trail to the inside and see if he can get the yardage. Run like a 8 yards and kind of slant in, and then you should be in that 13-yard category when you catch that ball. Or you run something, you run guys deep and run a drag in there and then see if you can make something happen. But you certainly, I can tell you want to keep that clock going.
As you can see the numbers for Howard, 13 rushes, 46 yards, and he does have that touchdown. Whatever that you do here, you want to unload that ball quickly because the Tigers can put pressure on the quarterback. So a big 3rd and 13 coming up here for Trey Lawrence. Lawrence in the pocket. Here comes the pressure. He steps up. And he's not going to get away. Lawrence is taken down in the backfield by the Tigers. Just an outstanding defensive play. Khalil Arrington, one of the Tigers there in the backfield eventually, but the pressure came early.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see the Tigers not call a timeout and try to get the ball back right away. Alcorn's going to just let that clock just keep ticking.
Wow. We knew it had to be something. You want to try to pick up the first down. You don't want to do something that's going to put your team in a bad situation, but you would have to get rid of that football quickly in that situation.
And that's why I said even that drag route, you wanted something to clear, but if it didn't, you had to have somebody dragging in the middle and just see if they can get, make an athletic play and get you the first down.
You know what's coming up at halftime, don't you?
Game.
Some serious
offense.
band action.
5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
Some very serious band activity coming up. The Sonic Boom of the South from Jackson State they're gonna perform. We're gonna have a little bit of them. And how about the Sounds of Dynamite marching band for the homestanding Alcorn State Braves? So everybody's getting ready, and we're getting ready for it here.
Let me get my dancing shoes on.
The punt by Keone is good. Gets it out of there, and it looks like it's gonna stop inside the 5-yard line. So a great punt by Alcorn State and Noah Keone as he hit that one, and that's going to put the Braves in the shadow of their own goal line with just 11 seconds to go here in the first half.
Yeah, I think Jackson State's just going to, take the knee or just let Sanders just kind of fall forward and call it a half.
Thanks, Coach Prime, looking dapper as usual on the sideline. He has the best apparel.
You know, he just got to, look.
Say it. He's cool.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he is just a guy that he is a magnet. You want to be around him. You want to feel like you can get something from him. And you know what? What I love about him, he's a giving guy. He understands what he brings to the table, and he's given that freely to obviously everyone at Jackson State, all those young men, and he's giving it to all HBCUs. He's giving this love to the SWAC. He's an amazing guy.
So Sheduer Sanders takes the knee, and that is the end of the first half as you see the Jackson State Tigers.
I'm gonna see if they're gonna play the band for sure. I just want to kind of look around and see what's going on elsewhere real quick, y'all. I am gonna play the band. You ain't gonna hear me talking over it. I'm just looking around, seeing what's going on in the SWAC elsewhere. He finna go off on the offense. I'm just finna let y'all know that right now. Everybody go off on the offense.
Pass complete in the middle of the field for a first down. And a little slow getting up is Jarvis Williams. He made the catch.
So 14-3, Texas Southern up in the third quarter. Valley up 27-7 on Prairie View. Hey, y'all want to know something funny though? Y'all want to know something funny? Is I said Valley was going to win this game because Prairie View, after they lost to Alcorn 2 weeks ago, I was like, they shouldn't even be in the championship. But Alcorn losing. The only one that's sparking right now up off of this is Texas Southern. And Texas Southern can get into that game if I had to pull up the HBCU article. And as a matter of fact, we'll take a look at that. Because right now it's the fourth quarter, game over, Prairie View lost, 27-7. It's over. It's over. Valley, down the stretch, does it again to Prairie View. Stuns Prairie View again. Let's go to the HBCU game day article. Now, let me show y'all while we're looking at this. Again, bro, this is atrocious. Atrocious. All right, so let me see if I can find the article. Southern triumphs in the win over Mississippi Valley. I wish Mississippi Valley beat Southern. That would have been excellent. Here we go. Here go the article right here. So let's take a look at this article real quick while I'm waiting on the band to show up. When the band show up, we'll return. So we got the East settled. The East is settled. All right. We cool on the East. Now, I'm going to skip all of this real quick. SWAC West. Alcorn is 1-2 with Prairie View, but losses to Southern and Texas. Southern 2-1, but they got wins over Prairie View and Alcorn, but a loss to Texas Southern. Texas Southern lost to Prairie View at the beginning of the year, but wins over Alcorn and Southern. All right. Remember, there's no tie or tie-breaking procedure if Prairie View wins on Saturday. They just lost. So let the games begin. All right. Skip Prairie View. They just lost. They lost. So now it gets interesting. Alcorn wins a berth if they can beat JSU. That ain't happening. So let's move on to Southern. Southern in a two-way tie. Southern gets the berth in a three-way tie with Prairie View, Alcorn, based on wins over both PV and Alcorn. So Southern is rubbing their hands together right now. Southern looks like the most. They look like they're in the driver's seat now. And we don't know what kind of Grambling team we're going to get. But here go the problem. Texas Southern earns the berth in a three-way tie with Prairie View and Southern. The three would be tied at 1-1 in head-to-head competitions between. In West Division games only. The next tiebreaker, Prairie View would be 3-2. Texas Southern and Southern would be 4-1. TSU would gain the berth by virtue of its head-to-head win over Southern. So it ain't the head-to-head win over Prairie View, it's the head-to-head win over Southern. So Texas Southern wins, Southern wins, Prairie View lost. We're looking at Texas Southern or Southern now playing out the West. All right, let me see here. I got Scotty up in arms over there, man. He up in arms over there. So basically, with the Prairie View loss, they're now 3-2, and Texas Southern is 4-1. So it's theirs. His argument is that it's theirs. That's what he said. He says it's theirs. So let's go back to the thing. Texas Southern earns the berth in a three-way tie with Prairie View and Southern. The three would be tied at 1-1 in head-to-head competitions between. In the West Division games only. The next tiebreaker is Prairie View would be 3-2 in Texas, and Southern would be 4-1. TSU would gain the berth by virtue of its head-to-head win over Southern. TSU earned the berth based on a head-to-head 21-17 win over Southern. TSU and Southern would have 2-1 records, while Alcorn State and Prairie View would be tied at 1-2. Prairie View eliminated themselves. He's arguing that Texas Southern is SWAC West champs. Texas Southern is SWAC West champs. That's the argument. So Texas Southern now has to hold on. Texas Southern now has to come to Jackson to play for the championship. All because of Valley. I knew Valley was going to do it. I knew they was going to do that, man. And it's a long halftime, and they're not even showing Alcorn's band. They ain't showing Alcorn's band. Here we go.
Welcome back, everyone. We're still at the half. Butch Alcindor and Jorge Vargas with you at the half. 17-7 Jackson State leading Alcorn State. Let's take a look now at some of our SWAC news and notes brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. How about this? Grambling State, Texas Southern, and Prairie View A&M all captured home wins over Pac-12 opponents this year in 2022. It was all part of that Pac-12 SWAC Legacy Series, and it went 3-3. Elsewhere in SWAC football, the weekly honors, Xavier Smith from FAMU, Aubrey Miller, of course, from Jackson State, and Bowler from FAMU. And how about Andrew Smith from Alcorn State, all named SWAC football players of the week. And then the SWAC volleyball tournament continues. The 2022 SWAC volleyball championship tournament continues this weekend with the championship match tomorrow, 3 p.m. That should be exciting. And how about our scoreboard today, brought to you by Chevrolet. You see Texas Southern leading Alabama A&M 14-3 at the start of the fourth. A very key game as far as who's going to win the West. But here's the big score, and it's kind of a shocker, folks. Mississippi Valley State knocking off Prairie View A&M 27-7. So with Prairie View going down, the door is now open for maybe Texas Southern, for maybe Alcorn State if they can come back against Jackson State. So it's still wide open in the West.
Yeah, no question about it. It brings the excitement. Again, Texas Southern, though, has everything in their hands right now. They just got to hang on to that win. But the first big Mississippi Valley State's win, that was the big one for Alcorn State here for this game.
And Bethune-Cookman was leading in their game 27-7. You saw right there. And Florida A&M was. And here you see the state. This is why Jackson State's already clinched in the East. They are the champions, and they will play the winner of the West. And as you can see the standings, 5-2 for Prairie View, but they lose today. They lose today. So now they're 5-3. And so now we're waiting on Southern. Texas Southern is winning in the fourth quarter. Alcorn is losing at the half.
Right. So if Texas Southern gets their win, they'll be 5-3, and they're in good shape. Again, we'll have to wait for Southern. And again, Alcorn here has to get their win as well. And Texas Southern wins, that puts them out.
Yeah. And this is what's left in the schedule. Not much. Thanksgiving Day It's Arkansas Pine Bluff taking on Alabama State. You and I will be doing that ball game. And then you got the Bayou Classic. The Grambling Tigers taking on the Southern University Jaguars. That's always an exciting one in New Orleans. You know, it's going to be exciting. But, boy, we can't wait till today because we may have a champion in the West by the end of the day today.
That is true. It should be, and again, exciting when it comes down to the end.
We're 17-7 here. We'll be back with more band action in just a minute.
So let me refresh. We'll refresh the stream. So we up to date. But yeah, Scotty is arguing that it's over. Texas Southern is in because they got the head-to-head with Southern. And if it's a head-to-head with Southern, then cool. But where PV comes into play, you know what I'm saying? We'll get it finalized today. Today the last day anyway. We getting it finalized. But check this out. This game just got a little more interesting. This game just got a little more interesting. Because if Alabama A&M can come back right here, force Body to turn the ball over, like it don't look like they're going to do it. But if they do, and Body them loses, it's haywire again. But Alabama A&M ain't Mississippi Valley. They don't know how to play. They don't know how to play spoiler. Touchdown. That was too easy. This game over. This game over. It looked like they coming to Jackson. It looked like they coming to Jackson. It looked like they coming to Jackson. Texas Southern didn't play JSU or FAMU and still couldn't win the West. Still couldn't win the West. Look at that. I ain't even doing. Look at that. Come on, man. Come on to Jackson. Let's go. Let's go mode. JSU get to improve on where they mishapped in the first game. I don't think we're going to see Travis since he scored a touchdown, a pick six. I don't think that we're going to see him on offense in the second half. If we do, y'all already know they're going directly to him.
for too long, spicy fat.
And then they go right to an ugly commercial. And they go right to a commercial. Well, you gotta feel bad for no you don't. But PV, man, it went all the way to Valley. Itabena stuns once again. Itabena stuns once again, man. The Delta. They doing it big in the Delta again. Valley with the win. This is a shocker, man. But still, though, Jackson State's got to get their shit together. And they got to get it together coming out of halftime offensively. And I don't who got the ball first? I think Jackson State. Yeah, Jackson State got the ball first. So the defense comes out. But offensively, they got to come out and they have to and put points on the board, man. They got to come out and they got to put points on the board. And they got to complete some of these passes. They got to get some offense going. Right now, they ain't got a lot of offense going. Statistically, they're not looking impressive right here, but the defense is. The defense is after, that one drive, the defense said, uh-oh. So let's see if the defense can continue that for the rest of the game. You know what I'm saying? The offense is going to have to carry. And the run game got to travel. The run game got to travel. Let me see. I'm trying to catch some. Nah, y'all cool. Everybody else on one accord. All right, so yeah. They still ain't playing the band. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on. Don't know what's going on. Oh, yeah. Oh, y'all don't know what I'm laughing at. My bad. Anyway, but JSU got to get the offense together. They got to do it this half. Let's see if that happens, and let's see what happens. We got Valley to cause a ruckus. That's all we wanted to happen. Valley to cause a ruckus.
17-7 in that one. It was a defensive explosion. 2 turnovers in a row, which really allowed the Tigers to move out in front.
That big beast they call their defense, right? Opportunistic and make things happen. They did exactly that. The cause of the fumble, return to the 2-yard line, punched it right in, and then the pick six. That gives you 14 points. I think they scored it in about a minute and a half. It was that quick.
Let's see how we got to that 17-7 score. We'll take a look at some first half highlights here. We can start with the action right there with a nice pass and a good catch inside by the Braves. And they just kept throwing it on. And now this is Wilkerson picking up a first down for the Tigers. And the first points of the game came on that Mata 38-yard field goal as he drilled that one. Sheduer Sanders trying to make it happen, but look at Malachi Bailey rushing in for the sack. And then Jarvion Howard diving in for the touchdown. Alcorn actually led 7-3 at that point. And this touchdown, on that touchdown, that was a little reverse there. And then a big turnover. We talked about the turnover differential. Brown recovering it right there would set up a rushing touchdown. And then how about that one? Travis Hunter with a nice move.
Yeah, again, that was just a great move. He had a great defensive play right before that, and then comes back and pick six and goes all the way.
And you can see Jackson State with another sack down the stretch. It was their defense forcing the 2 turnovers that led to the 2 touchdowns that put the Tigers out in front 17-7. Let's take a look now at the stats. First downs are even, rushing yards are even, passing yards are practically even, but when you get down, I guess the difference might be time of possession.
Yeah, no question about it. But again, I think if you were Alcorn State and you started this game, you're like, man, if we can play them even into the halftime, we'll be in good shape. And they did. The pick six, you take away that, this game's a lot closer, and they would have accepted that. Now, Alcorn State has got to find a way to make their big play themselves. I think that's the real big thing important for them. They've got to find a way to find that pick six, that scoop and score, whatever. They've got to find something that gives them an easy touchdown that puts them right that game.
Our halftime stats brought to you today by Cricket. And you talk about that. Fred McNair, been here, done that. He's been in every situation you can imagine. What do you think he's telling his team before they come back out on the field?
Well, he's telling them to focus, right? Guys, don't worry about those plays that happen. We're closer than you think. We've done a good job. And again, if he looks at those stats and says, guys, we're playing them even, right? They're not beating us. We're beating ourselves, right? I think that's what he does. Let's focus on the play. Let's win this quarter. I think that's probably the biggest message. Let's win this quarter. Let's knock down the mistakes, guys, and let's go at them.
Alcorn State will get the football to start the second half. They trail 17-7 in this ball game, so they're looking forward to taking the first possession of the second half as the kick goes into the end zone. So the Braves will start 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. It's an opportunity. What are your impressions of the job that Trey Lawrence did in the first half?
I thought Trey Lawrence was I don't want to take away, but serviceable. He did exactly what his team needed, exactly what they had on the script of what they needed him to accomplish, and he did just that. Now he's got to find a way to find an explosive play now, right? With those explosive plays that happen on defense for the Tigers, he needs one offensively.
They're coming back out with Lawrence at quarterback. He came into this game completing only 38% of his passes, but he had a better first half than that. As he takes it, turns, and gives to Howard to start the second half, and Howard's going to be caught for a loss of maybe a yard on the play.
Yeah, Lawrence, 4 of 9 passing, like you said, 44%, just 57 yards, right? So, I mean, not a lot of yards. It's just he's gotten the pass when he needs it. It's been very timely. Now he's got to find a way to get something explosive.
So Lawrence has in the backfield Jarvion Howard, the leading rusher in the SWAC. This time he's going to go downfield. Has a man with some separation. That is Hunt. And Hunt is pulled down from behind by Travis Hunter. But there's that explosive play you were talking about right off the bat. Coming out of the locker room, they got a big play.
And that is what they need. And again, look at the way he puts this ball up for his receiver to make the adjustment. And again, perfect adjustment by the receiver. Kind of just, it's almost like he pushed off just a little bit or slowed down a minute and then accelerated to the ball.
Montario Hunt, the 6'1", 188-pounder. Lawrence looking to throw again, but here comes the pressure, and he's going to go way down. A big sack in the backfield by J.T. Rajan. He's coming up there. That's his 5th sack of the year. Make it 5.5 now for Rajan. Actually, make it 6.
Yeah, 9 tackles for loss this season. This guy finds a way to get in the backfield. And again, timely for the Tigers, right? They give up a big play. What does your defense do? How about a 12-yard sack? That's the way to answer.
He was credited with the sack on that forced fumble, so make it 6.5 sacks for the year for Rajan, who's actually having a huge game here today to lead that Jackson State defense. So Alcorn gets a huge play on the long pass, and now the sack wipes that out.
What a great name, Rajan. I mean, isn't that meant for a football player?
So now a timeout is called on the field.
And again, I think the timeout for Coach McNair is, hey guys, we did what we wanted to do coming out of the half, but now we're off script. Let's get back on script. Let's figure out where we're heading.
We're going to pause for a timeout and be right back in just a minute.
All right, so they did exactly what I thought they would do. Think that they can beat Travis on a go route on a go route. And I think the receivers, Coach Fred, has been working on, let's slow down a little bit. and accelerate because all the receivers is doing the same thing. They're trying to hip pocket the DBs because of the technique that they play. And because of that technique, that you know what I'm saying, they're like, if we just leave them some room right here, we can then boom, we can either get that or draw a penalty. And that's the way they trying to play that. I think Travis on his jam, he's got to be more not only a little bit more aggressive, but he got to get his hands, he got to reroute them. He's not rerouting them where he need to be. He ain't trying to drive him to the sideline. He just punching him, he just stalking a little bit and then turning it in and then playing that trail. You just got to go cut, I guess, because they're trying to take away the back shoulder. But he finna get another pick. But the quarterback wanted to throw at Travis again, but of course he held the ball because of the position. It just took the sack. Rage and got him. But the defense, they got the D line got to work with the DBs. You know what I'm saying? You either force an overthrow, and that's what they're doing. They're trying to connect on those plays from last year when they played JSU, where they had a bunch of overthrows. So they're trying to connect on those throws. But it is what it is. I'm just ready to go on and get to the SWAC championship. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I'm ready to see that. I want to see JSU walk on into the Celebration Bowl. To be honest.
Open, and it's Hunt again, and Hunt makes that incredible catch. And for the second consecutive time, they challenged Travis Hunter and got away with it.
I'm telling you, Montario Hunt, it's the reason because Hunt does a great job of positioning himself to catch that football. He got some distance. I don't know how he got by him as much as he did, but he attacks the ball when it's thrown to him. A lot of receivers wait for it to get there. He goes up and gets it.
So that's a first down, sets up a 1st and goal to go for the Braves. So this has been a big drive.
Pushing off.
You know, they would take that 1 step forward, 2 steps backwards, but boy, they just overcame a really big sack. And this time they go back to the running game, and Jackson State's in the backfield. Aubrey Miller is there, and so is number 57 on that play. Now is Gaddy. He just had nowhere to go.
That play in particular looked like the Tigers were in the huddle with him and knew it was like that practice play that you mess up on, and the coach goes, "Let's run it again," right? And everyone knows what play is going to be run. That's what that looked like.
Well, I think a lot of the teams in the SWAC, there's no secret. These teams know each other so well. You'll throw in a wrinkle here or a wrinkle there, but for the most part, everybody's very familiar with everyone else. So that makes it 2nd and goal. Only now the football has been pushed back to the 11-yard line.
Again, forward, you go backwards.
So Trey Lawrence still at quarterback, looking to throw. Blitz is on. Lawrence fires it out, and it was almost intercepted by Sheduer Sanders, who actually had his hands on it and some open grass in front of it.
Well, his father will definitely show that to him over and over again because that was he had that ball in his hands. His body was leaving before his hands had the ball. And look at the pressure again. Coming at Lawrence.
That's Gaddy again. It's been a tough catch for Shiloh, but he's made those before. So now we have a huge 3rd down for Alcorn State. The Braves were looking to get something on the board here early in the second half to get back into this ball game. 3rd and goal now. The give inside is to Howard, and he's stacked up again. That Jackson State front line is just doing a tremendous job. Number 47, Hobson, in on the play.
They've got so many guys. And again, you know, the thing that the good defenses do is you trust the other guy as far as gap integrity. In other words, what hole you're going to cover, what job it is for you to clean up. And you can tell everyone plays their gap and then they slide. When you see some, defenses, they just start freelancing and they just start shooting gaps where they feel like it. These guys keep their gap integrity, and that's why their defense is so good.
So a 27-yard field goal attempt by Noah Kiani. A flag goes down as the kick splits the upright, but we'll have to see what the flag is all about. Our referee for today, Preston Clipper, you see on your screen.
Offside. Defense. The penalties decline. Field goal is good.
So the 27-yard field goal is good by the Braves. So they come out of the locker room with a bang. The Alcorn State Braves coming up with some big plays here to start the third quarter off behind quarterback Trey Lawrence. First, this one down the sidelines to Hunt. Monterio Hunt hauls it in, and then he had another big pass to Hunt. We'll be back in just a minute.
Man, if they don't stop these dang on commercials, bro. Golly. That was a good play. That was a good stop by the defense, bend but don't break. I'm telling y'all, they are strategically going at Travis, trying to get him on double moves because they feel like he's aggressive on the first move. That's what that is. And so when he comes up, the receiver is to push off and take off. If you, I wish that I had coach's film view so you could see what I'm talking about. What it is they're running their route, they'll stop, turn around real quick. Travis will sit. When he sits, they'll push and take off. And the ball has to be perfectly thrown in an area where the receiver can run under there and not give it. So Travis's makeup speed either has to be when he comes in where they're trying to make the catch to knock the ball away, he's got to be fast on the close. And it's hard to get a step fast on the close when you've been pushed off. But he's got to step up too. He has to step up and take on the role of not even letting them get that little breathe and feel comfortable about themselves. But he winning right now, man. He got a pick six. But they have caught 4 passes on him. This is the most he done gave up all year since he's been back. And that's a good thing, though, because you want him to throw at him because that's more attempts that he get. But that Alcorn not being able to punch it in right there and have to settle for 3, that's a little disheartening.
And thanks to that Noah Kiani 27-yard field goal, Alcorn State right back in this ballgame, 17-10. Jackson State out in front, but it's down to a 1-score game in front of a packed house. Look at the cars back there. I mean, there were actually people camping out last night to try to get the best position to get in for this game today.
Yeah, that's amazing. Camping out for a game. You've never heard that years ago. And again, that's some of the excitement on not only Alcorn playing for a spot in the championship game, but when Coach Prime and Jackson State come to town, everyone wants to be here.
So the kickoff is short. It will be returned, and that will give the Jackson State Tigers some great field position as they take over the football.
Like a surprise pooch kick there that really just ensured Jackson State pretty much got good field position. Not sure. Maybe that just wasn't executed as it was thought out to be. I can only assume that.
So here is Sheduer Sanders, numbers for the ball game, 10 out of 17. 98 yards, hitting on 58% of his passes early in this one as he comes out for his first possession of the second half.
Yeah, and he averages about 286 a game, so he's not too happy with what he's doing so far. But again, the goal is win the game and then do whatever it takes. And Coach Sanders talked about that this week. If they win it, great. If passing, they do whatever they need to do.
He came in just under 3,000 yards with 31 touchdown passes on the day against only 5 interceptions. So he will throw on first down. Rolling to his right. Has a man wide open. That is Shane Hooks. And Hooks gets the ball knocked out. And it's recovered by Cherylus. Claudine Cherylus on the recovery. And that ball will go back over to Alcorn State, the Braves.
That ball spit out. I mean, absolutely. And again, a great play. Sanders put it right on the money. He turns in, and again, that ball gets punched out right into his hands.
It looks like Keyron Kinsler may have knocked the ball out of Shane Hook's hands.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. It looked like he just literally fisted it. It came popping out right into his hands, and he turned it up. Now, can that offense of the Braves do what they did a minute ago and get a drive together, get some big plays, and move down?
Yeah, so far it looks like that halftime speech by Fred McNair was a doozy. And the handoff, again, it goes to their leading rusher. That is Jarvion Howard, who just bangs his way straight ahead. And we have a late flag thrown on after the play was dead.
Nothing aggravates a coach more than after the play penalties. And if you're the Braves, you get a big turnover, right? It's that same thing. You get something good, you take a negative.
Here it is.
And
again.
there it is. And there's the punch right there. Well, it's later. So at some point, he must have just gotten his hand on it again, or he just lost it.
Well, everybody, you're taught when the runner is being held up like that, the next guy in, go for the football. And I think they were just trying to yank it out and finally got it out. But either way, it's a huge turnover. But on top of this penalty, it's going to put them in a big hole now. Instead, you're going to have 2nd and 21. And they go back to Howard, who spins inside, and he's not going to get much.
It's like the 3rd or 4th time they have something big happen and then follow it the very next play with something negative. And again, that's a mental error. When you have a unsportsmanlike conduct after the play, that helps no one. That does nothing. You have to keep your focus. Be disciplined in what you're doing in the game. You can't cause your team negative plays.
Well, and that's one of the things Coach McNair told us this week. He said, we're going to have to play almost a perfect game to get this W tomorrow when we were talking to him. And, so far the mistakes, it hadn't happened, but they're still in the ballgame, which is where you want to be at this point. So it's 3rd and long, and they give to Howard. Howard with the big run, and he may have picked up the first down. It depends on the mark. He went right over the sticks right there.
I think he's going to be a yard short of this. But
yeah, it depends on where they mark him down, but what a great run.
Watch that. And an extra cut right there by Sanders. Almost if he could have reached out. I think, did they give it to him? No, it's 4th and 1.
It's going to be 4th and a yard, a long yard. So they're going to bring in Travaris Adams will go to quarterback. He's the wide receiver. There is a package where he operates to run the zone read at quarterback. He's number 1. And he hands it off to Howard, and I don't know if Howard got it. He got it on his own because he was hit in the backfield, and it was just all Jarvion Howard to pick up that first down.
That sure was. Howard did an amazing job.
Wrong guy spotting the ball. Told you, wrong guy spotting the ball. He can't spot the ball from way over there. It's the field judge on this side.
Backs in for the first
down.
Ball
ain't across.
Well, he had to secure the ball because Jeremiah Brown was right there.
They don't even
right there, and
challenge
at the time he was trying to secure the ball. So after that, it was all power from Jarvion Howard to pick up that first down. So way to overcome that 3rd and long yardage as Lawrence comes back in at quarterback. He throws it down near the sidelines too long for C.J. Bowler.
Told you what they're
doing. Step there.
They're getting a yard or two step on that outside. That time, again, he was too far to the outside. That ball wasn't perfect to the outside. But again, what I want to mention, that Braves overcame another negative, right, to keep a drive going. So they're finding a way to make the plays.
So this time the handoff is straight ahead to Leatherwood. He's going to just push the pile forward, and that's going to be a 7-yard gain for Javante Leatherwood.
Yeah, and Howard quietly has 20 carries, 67 yards. That's Leatherwood. Watch him just power through those last 2 yards.
Yeah, man. This is tough running right there by the 5'11", 190-pound junior out of Tuscaloosa. He has 166 yards on the year coming into this ball game today, but he averages almost 5 yards a run. So this time Lawrence has pressure coming, and he gets away from the pressure. So a great job by Trey Lawrence, and it's going to be an incompleted pass, but he was getting very close to the line of scrimmage as he let that ball go.
Yeah, and again, I think he really, if he had it to do over again, when he looks at the film, you've got to hold on to that ball and just go for the first down. You can't be too cute. If he'd just accelerated there on the edge, he may have had a better opportunity.
Tried to throw across his body, threw back over the middle, and the ball was knocked down. So that brings up 4th down, and the punting unit comes on for Alcorn State. So that's going to be maybe an opportunity missed right there because he would have been very close to those sticks. Instead, they will punt the football away. Noah Keone gets his kick, and it's going to hit around the 15-yard line and roll down dead at the 12-yard line. So that is where Jackson State will take over with 7:58 to go here in the third quarter.
All right, so the turnover didn't hurt JSU. However, the defense steps up and makes a couple of plays. I'm telling y'all to look at the receivers, what they're doing. They're running like a route, and then they slow the route down to leave a space between the sideline and the receiver for them to make a play. It's got to be over the DB's head. So that's something they've been practicing all week. Little bucket routes, something like that. You know what I mean? If they can't hit the goal, it's got to drop off somewhere around there, and it's got to be late. That's coaching. What they're doing right there, that's coaching. However, Shane Hookston fumbled that ball a few times this year, man, getting tackled. And he got to take better care of that ball, especially when he in traffic. I know he's trying to get the extra yard, fight for it and stuff like that, but you got to wrap it up and get where you're going, bro. You about to drive and go score. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want nothing like that to stop the offense. So it's your first time out. You turn the ball over. Now, y'all look like trash. Like people think they figured y'all out, but they really haven't. Y'all just been beating y'allself. And then Alcorn comes back and they want to run the ball and establish the run game. JSU should be trying to do the same thing. But we'll see what happens in the second half, as it's going to be a 4-quarter game. And JSU is in control, man, but they got to score points. You can't keep giving the ball back. And these commercials long as hell. The guy should have been over. So we have 40 minutes of commercial.
Perfect regular season record came into the action today at 10-0, 7-0 in SWAC play as they take on Alcorn State. And the Tigers have a 17-10 lead as we play with 7:58 to go in the third.
You know, everyone will tell you it's hard to get to the top of the mountain, but it's also hard to maintain the top of the mountain. And that's what the Tigers have had to do all season long. Every time they show up anywhere, they always get the best of the other team. They're getting it from the Braves today. And Sheduer Sanders really 11 of 18, just 127 yards. He is 61%. So he is maintaining his accuracy with no touchdowns. You know he's looking to get something to find some magic here.
So Sanders on first down hands it off to Wilkerson, and he may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. Last week, Jackson State knocked off Alabama A&M 27-13, but they trailed in that one after one. They actually trailed 10-7 in that one. So, they're used to playing some close games and letting that defense take over and help them come away with a victory.
Well, everyone's gunning for you, right? So you can't have those little slips because everyone's coming for you with their best, and they've had to overcome that and maintain their execution level.
So loss of one, making it 2nd and 11, and that's a completed pass right there. It's going to be very close to Rico Powers, and he may have gotten a first down there. It depends on where they spot that one, and they will get a first down as they move the sticks on the sideline. So Sanders to Rico Powers, and it's a first down for Jackson State. This time, Sanders keeps on the fake, and he's going to be dropped for a loss. He's sacked on the play by the Braves. Good pressure on the quarterback as he tried to run the play action fake. Didn't even have a chance to get it off. Just
Malachi Bailey again. That's his third time in the backfield with a big play here. I think it's his third sack of the game. He has had a whale of a game for the Braves.
Yeah, Malachi Bailey is giving Devin Hayes fits on that offensive line. I mean, he's just getting in the backfield. I'm sure he's gotten to know Sheduer right now. They got to be pretty good buddies. So Sanders with the pass to Daniels. It's complete, but Daniels is going to be wrapped up, and that's going to be a very short gain, if any, on that play.
Well, this Braves defense is playing really, really well. It's impressive how they're keeping everything in front of them. And again, their tackling's been great. You know, it is such a hard thing to tackle on an island. And with these spread offenses the way they are, when you get great athletes with the ball in open space, it's tough to make the tackles, and they've done that. And they've certainly put pressure on Sanders. And Sanders, in my opinion, has looked a little too relaxed in the back. He needs to have more sense of urgency getting rid of that ball.
3rd and 17 now for Jackson State. And they give to Wilkerson, and he goes straight up the middle. And Wilkerson's going to be well shy of that first down. You mentioned Malachi Bailey a minute ago. He came into this game with 7 sacks, and we're going to have to check what he has today. He has at least 2 today, so that would put him up to 9. So, I mean, he's going to finishing the year off with a bang.
Yeah, no, he's got 2, at least right here. I don't know if it's been updated yet, but 2 tackles for loss solo, which are those sacks, and then he's got an assist tackle for loss as well. So for a minus 22 yards himself. So that's some production.
So Sam Johnson comes on to punt the football away, and it's almost blocked. Good pressure by the Braves. This one is going to be fair caught, though, by Manny Jones.
Be a flag on the play.
A little bit of uncertainty there right at the catch,
Even
but
if
Manny did call for the fair catch.
Punter's got to have somewhere to land.
Let's take another look at the punt.
Punter's got to have somewhere to land.
Wow. That is really close.
Yeah, he was trying to sell a little bit like I got hit, but there was nothing there.
Kieron Kinsler coming very close to blocking that punt, and here we go again. Jorge, sit down, please. I mean, let's be glad you guys can't see him because that young lady can dance.
Yeah, I cannot.
No, I'm not saying that.
Well, hey, they were stomping a minute ago. We saw them off to the side there. They were had a whole fraternity out there doing the stomp. It was pretty good.
1st and 10 for the Braves. They go back to that fade pattern near their sidelines. This time it is incomplete, and Travis Hunter coming up with a great defensive play. They were trying to go to Hunt again. They've had some success with that play, but Montario Hunt covered like a glove that time by Hunter.
But watch Hunt even. It's this pass is inaccurate, but he still tries to sell and put his body in front of the defender to maybe get a call. Right? He found a way to maneuver in front of Hunt, who's a great defender. That's exceptional.
Nice job by Travis Hunter. So it brings up 2nd and 10. Now for the Braves. Lawrence steps up in the pocket, throws near the sideline, has his man, and Bowler steps out of bounds after he makes the catch. C.J. Bowler with a nice grab. He's a transfer from Vanderbilt and one of the leaders on offense.
Yeah, he's had 2 targets today. Hunt and Bowler, that's it. That's the only people he's thrown the ball to. Again, 7 completions, 16 throws, 136 yards.
Howard testing out the middle again. He's been the workhorse today, man, and we can see why he's the top rusher in the SWAC. I mean, he's really done a great job for the Braves today.
He's just consistent. You know what you're going to get from him. You know what kind of effort you're going to get. 67 yards rushing today.
Yeah, he has 5 100-yard rushing games this year. 2nd and 7 now. They go back to Howard, and he's caught in the backfield, and that's going to be the end of that.
Look at raging again. I mean, it looked like no one was blocking him. And I don't know how quick he was able. Can't see it from that angle, but look, he stands up. His offensive block and just sheds him. That is strong.
Yeah, he's having a great ball game for the Tigers today. He's made some really big plays as we are winding down to the 3-minute mark here in the 3rd quarter. Excellent game. Lot on the line. Jackson State trying to stay undefeated, and Alcorn State trying to stay alive in the quest for the championship in the West. Blitz coming, but they hand it ahead to Howard, and he spins away from the crowd, and Howard's going to pick up about 3. Nice spin move there.
Well, that was all Howard. I mean, it was like a jump spin thrust forward. I don't know how to call it. I feel like I'm commentating a skater, right? A pop spin, jump forward. That was unique. Look at his size. I mean, that guy he's built to run.
Here it is.
Watch this. And then the pump, stop, bam, and then watch, he just explodes forward. Gets him another 2 yards.
Yeah, he spun right away from Niles Gaddy there, but that's going to bring up 4th and 6. And the punting unit is on the field for the Braves. Noah Keone punts it out of there, trying to down it inside the 5, and he does.
Wow.
What a great punt by Noah Keone on the play to put Jackson State deep in their own territory.
Well, the Braves right now are doing what they have to do to keep themselves in it and get an opportunity to win this game. And again, Coach Prime, you can tell he's getting a little bit intense over here, seeing his team. They need to execute. He talks about dominate. Every time you talk to him and you hear him talk to his team, he talks about dominate. He's not liking what he's seeing right now.
You see that Jackson State has 467.7 yards per game. That's their average. But today, only 170 yards. So 300 yards less. You got to give a lot of credit to that Braves defense.
You do. And they're keeping them off balance. And they've been very opportunistic on making the plays they need to make.
1st and 10 now for Jackson State, and they go to Wilkerson, and there's just no room there at all. I mean, a good job of jamming up on Wilkerson as he's no gain on the play.
Yeah, the one thing I'll say about the Tigers offense, and again, Sanders, I just feel like at times when he's been sacked, he just seems a little too confident that no one's going to get to him. He needs to just play with some more urgency. When he gets that ball out quick and plays with a little bit of aggressiveness, he's much more effective.
No gain on the run. So that brings up 2nd and 10 for the Tigers. Sheduer Sanders will throw from his own end zone. Fires over the middle, and he overshot his man there. Was looking for Daniels again. Daniels has been the #1 targeted receiver today for Jackson State.
Oh, no question about it. And again, he's a big playmaker. He's their #1 receiver all season long.
Holding. Defense. Number 14. 10-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
As you can see, there was a flag there for defensive holding on the play by the Braves. Number 14, Calvante Key is the guilty party.
Well, he was celebrating good defense, but I guess right before we saw that, he must have grabbed him and held him back when that ball just hit the air. So, again, the Tigers get a first down, and now they got to see what they can do with this.
That's a big first down because Sheduer Sanders was throwing out of his own end zone. And then now you're going to have a 1st and 10, so you get to start all over again with 2:06 to go here in the 3rd quarter. And they go to the jet sweep around the outside. That's Willie Gaines. And he does a nice job turning the corner, trying to pick up what he could on the play.
Yeah, that was a hard corner. I mean, it wasn't an easy one to get around the edge of, but he did a nice job of just kind of squilling around that side there.
Gaines is 5'9", 170-pound junior from Cocoa Beach, Florida. So the handoff goes to Wilkerson again, and he's going to be caught and dropped by Terrence Ellis, the leading tackler for the Braves.
Again, Braves defense finding a way to hang in there right now, but they're gonna have to find a way to get a stop here as the Tigers just get another first down.
Yeah, 1st and 10, and all of a sudden that big penalty, the holding on defensive holding was huge for Jackson State on this drive. So Sheduer Sanders looking to throw. Has some pressure, and he just throws it away as he was under a lot of heat in the pocket, and he wisely threw that one into the ground.
Yeah, and again, watch that pressure come real quick. At first he thinks he's got plenty of time, and then he has to get rid of that ball real fast. And again, I like the fact that he got rid of it. Throw it at his feet, move on to the next play, right? You can't take sacks. He cannot take sacks.
Claudine Sherilis on the pressure, putting the pressure on Sheduer Sanders in the pocket. So that will bring us to 2nd and 10 now for the JSU offense. The Braves faking the blitz. They're showing blitz. And they come with the blitz. And Sanders has to sprint out of the pocket, and he has to throw it away, and it might have been intercepted. Number 14 is right there for the interception. Calvante Key. He went down low to get it, and so far, no word from the officials. Looks like it is an interception.
And again, he runs into the pressure. The pocket was actually fine. He runs into what an incredible interception right there. What a great job.
What an outstanding catch, reaching out and grabbing that ball. In fact, he came off his man. He could see where Sanders was. He was following Sanders' eyes and reacted to the football and made that incredible interception.
Yeah, Sanders was just trying to get rid of the ball. but he's not seeing things as he normally has. We've seen him a couple of times, and he just, again, he rolled into the pressure. If he'd have stepped up, there was a huge gap there. He rolled outside. You get your tackle trying to push him to the outside. You ran into pressure.
So 1st and 10 for the Braves. They're going to go to the halfback pass, and now Howard pulls it down. Howard, for just a second, was looking downfield like he might want to throw the football, and then instead he had to pull it down, and he runs it straight ahead.
I always have a lot of respect for running backs. They don't get a chance to pass very often. So when they do, they want it. I want to throw. If you don't see it there, you're a running back. Run the ball.
There was a flag on the play, though. And we'll have to see. You talk about having a good time. There was holding on the defense, so it's going to end up being a first down for the offense of Alcorn State, and that's going to be a big penalty.
And they are knocking at the door now. And again, they have. The game's right here, right? They can tie things up with a touchdown here. They've shown the ability to make the plays when they have to. Can they do it right here and tie this game up?
Well, things have happened in a hurry in this game. We had a space there. Most of the whole first quarter, not a lot going on, but when things have happened, they've happened very quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yep, in bunches.
1st and 10 now with a minute to go, and we have movement up front and another flag down. Wow. That might have been jumping the gun just a little bit.
Steve Carter was showing drop and roll techniques. What happens when you see a fire?
Defense, number 97 with contact.
That is 97. Devonta Davis, who jumped off sides.
What? Steve Carter just watch him roll, drop and roll. He wanted to make sure it was called. I have never seen that kind of roll. But you know what? I used to have a coach who said, look, if you're going to go outside, you better go full speed, hit the guy. Right? Don't just twitch. So he got his money's worth.
So now it's 1st and 5. Lawrence under pressure. And he's caught. And he goes down. And a flag goes down at the same time as Lawrence is caught in the backfield. Jeremiah Brown, one of the Tigers back there, and there's going to be a holding call against Alcorn State.
Yeah, they were trying to save their quarterback a little bit. Couldn't do it.
Offense, number 75. That penalty is declined. 2nd down.
Yeah, they'll take the sack. They won't take the penalty.
That's been the story of the game, though. They move forward, and then all of a sudden you have the negative plays.
Yep. Look at that team attack. My gosh.
So that's going to bring up a 2nd and about 13 now to convert for the Braves.
Chris Ballard was first there, grabbing his leg, and then he got some help from the friends.
Handoff goes inside, and a nice hole there for Howard. And Howard fights his way down to the 3, but there is another flag thrown down on the field after that great run by Jarvion Howard.
That run's fantastic. I mean, when you see that type of impact.
Number 68, 10-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Braxton Spells is guilty of holding, and it wipes out an incredible run by Howard.
Look at this. Everything's supposed to go to the right. He cuts back, cuts it up. Great move there. And then, wow, just buckles the knees of Sanders, goes forward. I mean, he ran a train over him.
Well, he's a load when he's running the ball. He's like 200 pounds, maybe a little bigger than that. But he definitely packs a punch. But once again, a big penalty going against the Braves. And now they're all the way back at 2nd and 23. This has been the pattern the whole game.
Yeah, they've overcome them, though.
And they give it to Leatherwood this time, and he's met by Miller in the hole. And Miller gets a lot of his friends jumping on the pile.
Tell you what, Leatherwood churns too. I mean, they got 2 running backs that you got to work to get them.
Yeah, you have to work to get them. And that brings us to the end of the 3rd quarter. And we saw a couple of outstanding plays. How about this one coming up right here by Calvante Key with a great interception. We'll be right back.
This might be the most emotionally charged match.
This is what you expect when you get out of rhythm and you just go through the motions. when you play down the competition and you don't have a sense of urgency. And you heard the broadcasters talk about Sheduer's ability to think that he ain't gonna get sacked, and a lot of that comes from him being so slippery before. But today ain't one of those days, and you really gotta change. Brett Bartolone really has to change the play calling here in this fourth quarter once they get the ball back, because just to be real, Alcorn has been in good field position this entire second half. And a wrong play here or a wrong play there keeps Jackson State bottled up. A turnover, you know what I'm saying, put it right back in the game. So it's stuff like that. So you got to come out and you got to attack this defense. And right now they are allowing the defense to dictate the tempo and the pace of the game. Alcorn's defense to dictate the tempo and the pace of the game, when in return they should be the aggressors. And the way you be the aggressor is you attack them in their weaknesses. You see that the corners are playing zone when they have a 2-receiver side or the tight end shed to their side or with 3 people over there. They're zone blitzing. So they're overloading and coming a particular way. You just got to beat the blitz. At this point, you beat the blitz. You got to get into the right play call. And Brett Bartolone has to, after this, Brett Bartolone has to come out right here and put together, and Sheduer, they got to come out, put together a drive and walk down the field. They just playing just to, kind of ease through the game and get on out of here. And I don't see that same level of aggression that they had on the first 2 drives. And you can get credit to Alcorn for that. But I just know better. I know when I'm being misled. So this is a big fourth quarter. Let's see who wins the fourth quarter. Let's see who wins the fourth quarter, because I do believe what it was 17-10. What's the score? Yeah, something like that. I know JSU up 7. And they still in commercial, so
Swag Football on ESPN is presented by Rocket Mortgage. For an expert partner to help buy your new home, Rocket can. And you see the fans braving the 47 degrees. And what'd you tell me, Jorge? Rain off and on?
Yeah, just a little misty here and there, and just keeps coming. The fans keep coming. They don't care. They're having a blast.
So Alcorn State with football, they trail by 7. It's a 17-10 game here as we start the fourth quarter, and another big play by that Jackson State defense.
I'll tell you, while you don't see a whole lot of fire up on the offensive side for
that
Jackson
ain't no
State,
first
that
down, though. I thought it was like third down.
They're still playing with a ton of intensity.
They are. And
that's
it's
right.
been the defense setting the tone today for Jackson State. And I think that's been one of the keys all season long. They'll have games where the offense is great and the defense is so-so. But today, it's all defense. And you see it right there. Howard being knocked backwards right there by Geronte Davis with a big stop. So here comes a long field goal attempt now. It looks like a 43-yard attempt by Noah Keone.
He misses.
Kicked up, has some leg to it, and it is good. So Noah Keone comes on and drills the 43-yard field goal to pull Alcorn State just a little bit closer to Jackson State. We now have a 17-13 game here in fourth quarter.
What a big field goal there. That is huge.
Yeah.
That is huge. We'll be back in just a minute.
Come on, man. We just came back. We just came from commercial, bro. Had 2 plays, a run play and then a field goal. That was a good kick by the kicker, because I sure thought he was going to pull that. That was a little bit out of his range, but he knuckled it on through. What up, Zane? Good with you, man. So yeah. So anyway, this the same game that A&M wanted to play played last week. It's also the same game that TSU played. It's also the same game that I think 3 or 4 teams have played this year, just to try to make the game a little bit different and complex, so that you know what I mean. You don't allow this offense, to get away from you. And JSU defense really has locked down and not giving up nothing. The offense ain't even really been on the field. And I think right now they should be leading, and them meaning Alcorn should be leading in time of possession. Should be them leading. But this is a big series for the offense. We know that Sheduer wants to be aggressive. We know that they need to run the ball. And we know that Alcorn is dictating the tempo right now. They're trying to keep things confusing. They're run blitzing. They're trying to disguise and change their coverages up at the last minute or at the snap of the ball. And you got some plays that are there. You do have the middle of the field open to you, because the way that they're scheming against you, they're leaving the middle of the field valuable, because you're trying to press the outside.
Beautiful night in Lorman, Mississippi, and you can see a packed house on hand also tonight. And we have a great ball game between Jackson State and that 10th ranked Jackson State and Alcorn State. It's just a 4-point
It's raining too.
17-13. JSU out in front after that last field goal of 43 yards from Noah Kiani. We'll have Lorenzo Garcia kicking it off right there, and it goes all the way down to the 7-yard line. And here come the Tigers on the return. That is Coleman on the return, and he's going to be dropped. Is Coleman as he brings it back, and so they will start 1st and 10 from there. Been a big game for that Jackson State defense, and that guy, Aubrey Miller, has 10 tackles so far in this ball game. You know what? Aubrey got some great news this week.
Aubrey Miller.
That was Aubrey Miller getting his invite to the Reese's Senior Bowl. Of course, it's happening in Mobile, Alabama on February 4th. What an honor it is to play in that Senior Bowl.
Yeah, we got to thank Jim Nagy, executive director for the Reese's Senior Bowl, for getting us that video, that special moments. Robert Brazil, of course, former famous Houston Oiler, Hall of Famer.
Defense. It's open right
there.
now.
To get a Hall of Famer to give you an award telling you're going to the Senior Bowl.
The
And
middle of the
Miller's
field,
one of the top thirds, right? They picked the first third. So he's one of the top guys in there as they start seeding and putting people in the Senior Bowl.
Yeah, isn't Brazil called Dr. Doom? Isn't he? Wasn't he Dr. Doom? He was a tough defensive player, Robert Brazil, former Houston Oilers. So we pick up Jackson State now. The pass is blocked. Caught right there by Marshall. Santee Marshall on the play.
On
the ball.
On the ball.
So Marshall makes the catch, and he dances upfield for a 1st down for Jackson State.
Yeah, great catch and great move. And again, they needed that 1st down. That offense got to find some rhythm. They really haven't had it all game long.
Yeah, and it's a big 1st down, and now they really would like to answer after the field goal by Alcorn State. So Sheduer Sanders turns, and he hands off to Marshall. Marshall has a hole, and Marshall's going to pick up about 5 really quick off tackle. So a nice job by the left side of that offensive line for Jackson State.
Again, kind of a counter play there. Looks like the Tigers are kind of mixing up their offense, changing things up. Looks like we got a Brave that just fell down. Take some time there to take
That
care
is
of him.
Ernest.
How you
Woods,
got
the
cramp,
third.
man, in the cold? How you got a
Down on
cramp in the
field. Looks like
cold,
he's
bro?
just cramping up there. So while
It's too cold out there to be cramping, man.
back with more in
The refrigerator.
You don't cramp in the cold. I ain't never seen nobody catch no cramps in the cold. It's cold. What kind of strength and conditioning y'all got down there to be cramping in the cold? I've never seen that before. And right now, this is the offense that you expect to have been playing all game. Up tempo, run pass. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing. You could do that with Wilkerson. Santee might be a little bit faster, but everything you're doing right now, you can do with all your backs. Man, had to contour something, bro. Come on, man. Don't nobody be in no cold, bro. You get hurt in the cold. Like the hits hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like you slow to get up from the hit. You ain't catching no cramp. Your muscles ain't working that hard. Unless it's like, you know what I'm saying, 80 degrees in Lorman. They tripping, bro. Crazy, man. Let me run something down to y'all real quick. It looked like, oh, never mind, I can't see. I was trying to go and look at some scores, but I ain't even got time for that.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's take a look now at the SWAC scoreboard brought to you by
Texas Southern lost. A&M came back. Dang it, I ain't want y'all to see it this way.
21 points in the fourth quarter to come back and knock off Texas Southern. And so look at the standings. This is updated now. Prairie View still with that 5-3 record. They can still hang on and get the championship there. Southern, of course, plays in the Bayou Classic against Grambling coming up later. That may have a big bearing on who wins the West. But Alcorn State still in the hunt. And now we pick up Sheduer Sanders with a long pass downfield. And it is a completed pass over there to Travis Hunter, the official right on the spot. Now
Knew that was going to happen.
We're going to concur. But
Should've
Travis
left
Hunter
him in the
made a nice
game.
catch going up and squeezing that football. Let's take another look.
Yeah, I think he was juggling before he landed. He hits it inbounds first, but he juggles. And then by the time he gets his foot in, I don't think that's a catch.
They're moving the sticks, though. The officials had him on the sideline. He was right there, and let's see. Now we're going to have a little pause in the action, and now they're going to make him. We're ready to go. No, now they're going to. Someone's going to challenge this.
Yeah, I think you've got to challenge it.
Yeah, that pass.
Alcorn State.
A pass.
Now they just called a timeout, so they're not challenging it.
Well, we'll give the officials an opportunity to maybe look at this and see. As we take another look at it, Travis Hunter's down the sideline. There was an official right there who called it a catch.
Okay, hits his hands here. Now it's bobbling. His foot does come down, and then he gains possession there. Well, that other foot touched. That right foot did touch when he gained possession again. So I think that's wow.
It's a great job.
That's a great catch because that first left foot didn't matter because he didn't have control of the ball. But when that right foot hit, he already maintained control of that ball. So absolutely fantastic catch by the Tigers.
Great job by the officiating crew over there.
Thanks for the camera crew shot as well.
Yep, and a good job by Travis Hunter, who's had himself quite a day today.
And the Tigers needed a big play.
So that's a first down for Jackson State. 1st and 10 with the ball resting at about the 17-yard line, call it the 18-yard line. Tigers knocking on the door. They go to the running game. Santee Marshall is going to be crushed in the backfield, and he disappears as he tried to go forward. Great job by that Alcorn front.
I ain't gonna cap. I would have went back to Travis. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all done held him out of offense the whole entire game, and then you finally put him in, and he give you the play you need.
Went back nowhere to go. Lost a couple yards on him.
Loss of 2 on the play, so make it 2nd and 12 for the Tigers. Sanders looking into the end zone, deep, and he has Travis Hunter. Did he get his foot down?
Touchdown.
That is the question.
Touchdown.
The official says no.
That's
he was
a touchdown.
Out of bounds, but what a great catch.
That's a touchdown.
By Travis Hunter, and Hunter thinks he was
Can't
in
nobody
bounds.
guard him, bro. Listen to me. Can't nobody guard him. Nobody. And they sent the safety late.
Because Hunter was pretty convinced that he was in bounds.
So there's the.
Oh, yes, sir. That's a touchdown. Look at him dragging the right foot.
And I even think that other foot was in.
Travis Hunter with an incredible game today. That was a super catch.
Catch that one more time.
And let's see.
No, they're gonna
challenge the play, coach.
Boy, that was a catch by Travis Hunter. Should have been a touchdown for Jackson State. And now we have a whistle, and now we may get the challenge because it's a timeout called by Jackson State. You see Coach Prime out there wanting some clarification on that one.
Yeah, and I think this is certainly worth looking at. And I think, like the other catch, right? He had one foot dragging. Did he have the ball yet?
What's the challenge if we had a completed pass or not?
Okay, so that's a full challenge.
So that is Preston Clipper right there with the call. We're going to take a timeout while they challenge this, but Travis Hunter making an incredible catch. We'll be right back.
On a Fansville.
That's 2 in a row, man. On the same drive. It's 2 in a row on the same drive, man. On the same drive. You put them in, you get your spark. Now your offense is back on track. Your quarterback is back happy. That's the record. Touchdown. Touchdown. Back 10. Touchdown. I wish I had slow-mo. I wish I had slow-mo. Hold up. Pause. Touchdown. His back foot, this foot, is in. It's dragging. This foot comes down after the fact. He only need one. He's got full possession of the ball. You got to claim that his right foot is out before this foot. And when you go back and slow it down, it's a touchdown. Touchdown. I ain't slow. He don't need space. He is him. He is him. He don't need space. It's a touchdown, ladies and gentlemen. See it for yourself. They are not back from the game yet. They are still reviewing the play. Trust me, I got it on my TV and all of that. Touchdown. Run it back. Let me see if I can get cute right here. Damn. All right. Now, they live.
Take a look at this replay right here. Now watch, the ball hits his hand. That left foot is dragging. Now the right foot may have gone out of bounds, but watch, you see the drag right there. You see how his foot's dragging that left foot? It drags right there. Now maybe his right foot goes out of bounds, but he's already positioned that other foot. I believe this is the catch. Yeah, he ran back out on the field and pointed to the refs. Hey, here's where my foot went out.
Well, he was emphatic that he was in bounds. I mean, he got it right away, and usually you can tell when these guys think that they made the catch, and he was no doubt in Travis Hunter's mind that he had came up with a touchdown.
He comes right back and trying to show the ref. Ref has nothing to do with that, of course. The ref's like, nope. out of bounds, but he's pointing to the spot and got a million people with iPhones and cameras running.
A lot of toe drag swag right there, but Travis Hunter was positive he was in the end zone, and that's what it looks like on the replay.
And I do think there's enough video evidence to overturn this. I do. I think it shows.
No, I can't with this one while it's live, Zane. I can't play. I can't do that.
There's stuff coming from his foot, and then the other one, you can see the angle where he catches the ball.
I can't do this on the live ESPN thing. It won't let me. I would have did it. You know what I'm saying? It's only giving me that.
You know, the catch is clear. Clear possession on the catch, hits it.
They still ain't called it a catch yet. They still reviewing the play. So Brett and them are anticipating that they got to go back out here and do something else. It's a touchdown.
Okay, here comes Preston Clipper with our call.
After further review, the play is reversed.
Touchdown.
We have a catch. The left foot dragged in the corner of the end zone. The receiver maintained control of the ball. We have a touchdown.
What a catch by Travis Hunter. I mean, an incredible catch.
He's like, I knew that.
By the young freshman, a 2-touchdown day, one on offense, one on defense. Returned an interception earlier in the game for a touchdown, and now he flags down a pass for a touchdown from Sheduer Sanders.
You know, Travis Hunter came to Jackson State to learn from Coach Prime and what he did. And I tell you what, he's able to show offensive, defensive skills. There's that drag. There's the touchdown. But again, only a guy like Coach Prime in his day when he played was able to do pick sixes and score on offense and score on kickoff returns and be that electric. And you said it earlier, he's an electric player. And I'll tell you what, the lights are bright behind this guy for sure.
Yeah, a true freshman, just an incredible player, great speed. But what you saw right there was just great athletic ability as he goes up, squeezes the ball with his hands, and at the same time, you know, he has the flexibility and everything to drag that toe. Like I said, great toe drag swag right there in the end zone.
But your body awareness, right? You've got to be a heck of an athlete to have that type of awareness when things happen that quick and you're able to control your body like that. That's special. And I think, you know, it always kills me because a lot of people I don't think really understand what elite athletes are and the difference between being an athlete and being athletic are. Right? There's a difference. You can be athletic all you want. There's athletes, and what we're looking at is athletes.
Well, Travis Hunter is an elite athlete. There's no doubt about it. And he's, you know, we knew that coming into this game, but if you had any doubts, he put him to rest today because he's just been remarkable. He's been all over the field. Mm-hmm. So the extra point attempt is up, and it is good. And Jackson State has padded their lead. It's now 24-13. Tigers out in front over Alcorn State. Of course, Alcorn State still needs to win today to be in the hunt, and they would be in the hunt if they won because Prairie View A&M has already lost their ball game.
And Texas Southern let 21 points get away from Alabama A&M. So what has they needed to happen, right? Mississippi Valley State, they got the win. Alabama A&M, 21 points in the fourth quarter to beat Texas Southern. Now they need to handle their own business, right? Win today, and then Grambling State will win over Southern. So they're still in it. And this game isn't, they've got enough time to handle their business, but it needs to start right now. But again, they need a lot to happen. They've got 2 out of 4. They've got one of those in their own hands.
They came into this game and it was lottery type odds but you can see right there.
Yep.
You know, you cut it in half. Now you got 50% chance to.
And again, one of those is in your control, right? So that's the key. The more things you have in your control, the better it is. And now they're going to have to come back and win. And they've shown their ability today to really make some things happen. So right now they have to do that.
And that's why that reversal of the call on the Travis Hunter catch was so important because that was such a big play in this ball game, such a pivotal play as they're going to kick it off.
There must have been a penalty of some type of celebration is my guess because they're kicking off at 20.
And the line drive kick will be picked up at about the 30-yard line. Nico Duffy on the return. Duffy with some room as he brings it back, and a nice return by Nico Duffy.
So the Braves are going to have a good position right at the 50-yard line to make something happen. They score a touchdown right here, then they're right back within striking distance. But that Braves offense needs to handle, how are they going to attack them right here?
Well, and we're getting down to the point in the ball game where the clock is going to be very important for the Braves also. That last touchdown was such a big play for Jackson State. I mean, to get that touchdown and pad that lead, to put the 24 points on the board, because now it's 11-19 to go. Still some time to go. Still enough time to get it done. But the clock will become a factor here pretty soon. 24-13.
Southern is
here
in the
with
swag west.
11-19 to go. And Lawrence will throw it. Line drive pass and contact on the play, but no flag as he was trying to get it downfield. He had Juan Anthony Jr. was his intended receiver, but it will go down as an incomplete pass.
Like Jamie used on the coverage there, and it was good coverage.
That touchdown strike to Travis Hunter was a 19-yard pass in the drive. 7 plays, it was 68 yards, and it took 2 minutes and 49 seconds for the Tigers to get that one in the end zone. And of course, Fred McNair wasn't happy with the call. Jarvion Howard now on the carry, still on his feet, bouncing off of would-be tacklers and stretching forward. That's a great run. Only about 5 or 6 yards, but look at what he had to do to get it.
Again, his center of gravity is really, really good. I mean, watch his hips turn and how he's able to maintain his balance. Yeah, look at this. I mean, a quick turn to the right and then spin, maintain his balance, and then even right there at the end, he stretches out for another 2.
3rd and 3 now. They give inside to Howard again, and he has a first down for the Braves.
You didn't know if you wanted to say Howard or wow, right? I said wow, and just watching him again, he makes something out of nothing. Again, look at that. In the backfield, he's almost getting tackled still. Winds up making, 8 yards?
Yeah, Sheduer Sanders finally got him down, but the first guy there is not making the stop. As you see Howard again on the carry.
You're going to name him Woward. That's good.
So a good carry here and a good play calling here by the offense.
And he's eclipsed 100 yards.
Elliot Raffin, the offensive coordinator, good play calling, I say, because they do have time. There was no sense in getting to a pass-happy offensive situation where you have a running back like this and you get one score, you're right back in it. So this time Lawrence is going to pass under pressure, and he just throws it up and out of bounds. So he was just trying to throw that football away.
Man, that pressure coming from the Tigers there. When they send people, it is absolutely, they're on fire.
Well, and it's actually good football weather tonight. You mentioned earlier 47 degrees. You're not going to get too tired in that type of football.
No, it's brisk and it feels great when you're in pads and your blood's flowing and all that kind of stuff. As a fan sitting there, it may be a little chilly, but as a player, this is a perfect weather.
So Alcorn State now looking at a big down to continue this drive. They've had a nice drive so far. It's 3rd and 7 to keep it going. He's looking toward the top where Travis Hunter was matched up one-on-one, and it's caught. Did he get his foot? No, he's out of bounds on the play.
He got it in
that
there.
was actually Isaiah Bolden on the coverage that time, and he was trying to hit C.J. Bowler again, but he led him a little too far to the outside. So what do you do here, Coach? Are you going for it on 4th down?
Well, I was hoping for
that's how you create separation.
Whoa. We may have to check that one out.
He fumbled the ball out of bounds.
Wow. If he'd have held on to that ball, that was a catch.
Well, he sure did.
So Alcorn,
I'll go for it.
See how they do that?
Alcorn State
open up
and 7.
Create separation with the push off. Bring it in.
You do have to go for it.
They're going to go
Michael Irvin. They finna do it again.
Trey Lawrence at quarterback. Big pressure coming. The blitz comes right up the middle, and Lawrence is dropped. He's down. That is JT Ragin again. Ragin, all kinds of problems in the backfield as he gets there and drops Lawrence.
Ragin is nasty. But he came away clean. How do they let that happen?
They're blitzing, and the offensive linemen are having to decide who they're going to pick up. And you know what? If you got to make a choice, 92 is the guy you got to pick up every time.
Yeah, I just don't. I mean, there's numbers you got to maintain and go, this guy, he can't hurt us. Now, again, Tigers have a lot of guys that can hurt you, but you can't let the leading guy who gets tackles for loss free.
Well, and the job Dennis Thurman is doing, disguising the blitz.
Listen, man, it's y'all already know it's ESPN. They've been doing this the whole stream. And I think they've been doing it to a bunch of streams. So Wilkerson got about 6 yards on the run.
Now he's in the game for JSU.
Rajan has accounted for 47 negative yards. 47 negative yards, 3 tackles for loss.
You know what they call that? That's a baller. Whew. That's a guy who gets it done. JSU now on second down. They go back to the running game, and it's Wilkerson spinning off of would-be tacklers, and Wilkerson comes up with a huge gain. He's going to be close to another first down. Let's see where they mark it. It is a first down as they move the chains for Jackson State, and the Tigers get quickly back to the line of scrimmage. And now they back off. I was surprised how quickly they got back there with the clock running down. We're now under 9 minutes to go in the ball game. So the give is to Wilkerson again, his 3rd consecutive carry. That time the Braves responded on defense.
Cale Webb led that charge for the defense for the Braves. And again, when you line up to line of scrimmage real quick, you just make the defense not get to rest, right? At the end of the day, they have to be ready for longer. And again, a defender, it's just reactionary, so it takes more energy.
Sanders looking to throw this time. Pressure coming. Sanders, great job to keep his balance, and then he just threw it away. But a good job by Sheduer Sanders of getting out of what should have been a certain sack in the backfield.
Yeah, that was a good spin move there. For sure. Look at it. Watch this. Boom, just does that nice little spin, able to maintain his balance, puts his arm down there, and then a great job just throwing it away.
Yeah, it is big tight end over there in the vicinity, Stevens, and he just unloaded that football. So now Jackson State is faced with the 3rd and 8 for a first down. And watch the blitz coming.
Yeah, they're coming from the corner. They're the Braves.
And I think Sanders saw it, and they backed off a little bit.
Yeah.
Here comes the blitz on the play. Sanders is going to be hit and
Oh, the
dropped.
ball. You had it.
You can't block everybody when they come
You
through
had
like
it,
that.
bro.
That is Claudine
You got man to
Sherrillis
man.
again,
Throw it.
getting in the backfield, making the sack.
Sherrillis has had himself quite a day himself. He's been playing well. That's his 11th tackle and his 2nd solo tackle for loss. So he's had one heck of a game himself.
That's a big sack.
Yeah,
and it came on 3rd down.
And again, what Sanders was confused there, he knew the blitz was coming. He saw the corner cheating. And as soon as that play, he knew they were blitzing, and they were blitzing hard. And I think when he steps up, there's more room up that middle. He needs to sprint, take off, make that defense pay.
So the punt is away, and the fair catch is called for and made right there by Manny Jones. And so that will take us to break. As you can see the score, Jackson State out in front, leading Alcorn State 24-13. We have 7:32 to go. And Sheduer Sanders right here in a lot of trouble as he stepped up and he's taken down. We'll be right back.
That delay from the linebacker, we used to do that in when we played passing teams. The middle linebacker is kind of like he reading the quarterback or spying the quarterback, but really he gonna gun as soon as he get a lane. But the announcer's correct. Sheduer got to step up right there and deliver a ball or just take off running. Either way, it works for him. I mean, they blitzed him. They sent 6, 7. But you gotta have man-beating routes. If the slot corner is coming, then and the safety is over there, your receiver should be running a slant inside. That's a quick blitz beater because you don't have a linebacker that is running over there toward the slot. You have the slot guy being covered by the safety. There's a disadvantage there. But you just really should have put Gaines on the outside and brought Daniels in at the slot and let Gaines run the go If you ain't gonna put Travis back in, let Gaines run the go, and you let Daniels kill him underneath. But they're not making those adjustments. I think they just trying to be basic as hell and win a tough game. That's all. You got to give Alcorn credit. Shit, they fighting right now. They fighting for a whole lot. Down 11 points. Or whatever they down right now. They're down 2 scores. So they gotta be able to make a play. This is a big defensive drive for JSU. This is also a big offensive drive for Alcorn. Can they put themselves in position to score points? If Alcorn can't move the ball on this drive, the game over. JSU gonna score again.
SWAC football on ESPN is presented by Home Depot, proud sponsor of the SWAC, Academy Sports and Outdoors, official sporting goods and outdoor retailer of the SWAC, and by Nike, proud sponsor of the Southwestern Athletic Conference. And a nice crowd on hand here. You know, they have the hills on either side filled up there, you know, the stands. I know there may have been some people who have gone home since the start of the ball game, but it was pretty much a packed house.
Yeah, when you get a little wet, cold, you kind of just can't get warm. You got to go. I get that.
I think some people find ways to get warm.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. They have a little.
It's the best night to watch a little hot cocoa, man.
Yeah,
where you going with this? I'm talking about hot chocolate, man.
Well, I was talking about a little refreshment.
And we do have one of the
Southwood, maybe Southern Comfort.
One of the Alcorn players down on the field. And again, it looks like we've seen a couple of guys cramping up here late in the game. We have 7:16 to go in this ball game. And the Braves still have a shot. And if you're just joining us, this race for the Western Championship has just turned all upside down for a minute today. It looked like Texas Southern was in the driver's seat. And then they all of a sudden had 21 points in the fourth quarter from Alabama A&M. So they lose that ball game. We have Prairie View A&M losing to Mississippi Valley State now for the second year in a row. Mm-hmm. So we have some strange going on. But how about that guy, number 12, Travis Hunter? What a day he had. He had this pick and turned it into a pick 6 as Travis takes it to the house for the touchdown on defense. And then you know what? On offense, Travis can go up and pick him also. He got that one out of the air for a great catch and a big first down. And then how about this one? This sensational catch in the end zone for the touchdown. Travis Hunter is our player of the game, presented by Pepsi Zero Sugar, the official partner of the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
Tell you what, just 2 catches on offense, but he made them count 49 yards in that touchdown. 24.5 catch. I'll take that, right? And then with that kind of defense he plays, again, he's an exceptional player, and he plays with a swagger, plays with that confidence, and he plays with what his coach preaches every single day: dominate, dominate, dominate. And that's their attitude about it.
Well, he's had an incredible game. There's no doubt about it, because his coverage has been pretty good, too. He's gotten beaten a couple of times, but he's been there most of the night, and that is an incomplete pass, and that's Travis Hunter again on the coverage there. Little contact. Travis goes down, and the ball is high. It's an incomplete pass. He was trying to hit Montario Hunt, but it's no damage on the play.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Hunt battled really well. I'm surprised he didn't get a push off there a little bit, because that was a pretty obvious push. But the problem with the Braves, they got 2 guys they throw it to. If it's not Hunt, it's Bowler, right? That's it. They've not thrown it to anyone else. Both of them have 4 catches, and the Braves really need to find someone else that they can sink in there to get the ball to.
So the Braves are going to punt it away. Noah Keone puts his foot into it. It's a line drive kick, and it will be returned by the Tigers. Around the outside is Willie Gaines, and he steps out of bounds at about the 35. So a nice return by Willie Gaines on the punt return for Jackson State.
Again, the Tigers here now they're going to really try to milk that clock. Right now they're going to try to make sure whatever they do, they don't want that clock stopped. they're going to do their best to try to make sure
it is
they
a
knock the
little
clock out.
chilly out there, isn't it?
Well, I told you, once you get that mist that keeps raining a little bit, raining, and cold, after a while it gets into your bones, and then it's just hard to get warm.
Yeah, but these are some smart football fans. They came prepared. Let's take a look now at our SWAC upcoming schedule, brought to you by Pepsi Zero Sugar. Next week, you and I will have our turkey calling the Arkansas Pine Bluff game versus Alabama State, and then a game that's going to be for a lot of the marbles, the Bayou Classic between Grambling and Southern. That game may have a lot to do, depending on what happens here, a lot to determine the outcome in the West.
And it just increases that game. That game's always fun. I don't care if neither one of them won a game going into that game. It's a big game. But, Grambling's going to go and go, we want you not to get that West, right? We don't want you in the championship game. And then Southern's got something to play for. So there's going to be a ton of intensity in that game.
So the run by Jackson State picks up a yard. Make it 2nd and 9. As the clock continues to tick, we're down, closing in on the 6-minute mark to go in this ball game. Sheduer Sanders will pass it as he rolls to his right. A lot of pressure on him, but he throws a strike, and it's a completed pass to Kevin Coleman. That will be a first down for Jackson State.
Yeah, Coach Prime mentioned something to us this week about Sheduer. He has only lost in his career from high school to now about 6 games, was it, right? In his entire career. That's incredible.
I think you said it was like 9 total,
9
like
total?
from 7th grade on.
Wow, that is just striking to be that type of. And again, obviously some of that's the teams you play on, et cetera, but that says a lot about you when you just don't lose, whoever you're with.
Sanders again with another pass, and this one is broken up. A good defensive play over there, trying to hit Dallas Daniels again. He's been one of his top receivers. It started because I asked Coach Prime, that was Napoleon Collier on the coverage there. Napoleon Collier. I said, Coach Prime, the Jackson State team is 10-0. I said, how many times have you been undefeated? He goes, well, when Sheduer was in high school, we won 4 consecutive state championships.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, that's a pretty nice run right there. You really can't beat that. 2nd down and 10 now for the offense. You see Daniels lining up as one of the wideouts. And Sanders are going to pitch it back to Travis Hunter. Travis shakes off one would-be tackler, still on his feet, and actually Sheduer assisted on the tackle there. Terrence Ellis will get credit, but Sheduer probably got an assist on that.
I don't think he wants that assist on his record. That great job by the Braves just shaking that down. It was a double reverse. They did a fantastic job of playing their responsibilities. You saw that defensive end and even the corners just set that edge, and you're not coming around here. Turned it back inside, and they just squeezed that play in. Great job.
So that's going to be a huge loss. Make it 3rd and 20. Coming up now for Jackson State as we close in now on 4 minutes and 35 seconds to go in this ball game. Sanders turns and he hands off to the running back, and that is Wilkerson again back in the ball game, and Wilkerson will not get anything on that play. So the Tigers will have to punt the football again back to Alcorn State.
I'm really impressed with the Braves defense performance today. I mean, they've done a nice job. I mean, Sanders normally 300 yards passing, just under 300 yards. He has 216 today. Even Wilkerson, I mean, normally he's right at 100, just under 100 yards average. He's only at 65 yards, 3.1 a carry. So they've done a good job of holding Jackson State offense from being explosive.
So Manny Jones back to return this punt. He lets it go over his head, and the Tigers could not down the ball at the goal line there. They had a shot at it, couldn't quite do it. So Alcorn State will take over the ball on the 20-yard line, as you see Coach Prime on the sidelines, trying to close out an undefeated regular season.
Yeah, what an accomplishment for him. And look at him with he's got his stickum gloves on, like he's ready to go in there and play some ball. I think he forgot his eligibilities up. Of course, his legs won't let him do that anymore. But he's got style no matter what he's wearing. Huh?
What a motivational guy he is for this Jackson State team. And no matter what's going on, he seems to weave it into a life lesson for these guys and something to just help them improve. As you can see, Jarvion Howard's numbers, 28 carries, 102 yards, and he's been more impressive than that. He also had a touchdown on the day. He's been the workhorse. As you see Lawrence rolling out of the pocket, he's going to keep and steps out of bounds after a short gain. But what can you say about the job Jarvion Howard has done in this ball game?
It's Woward, right? And then when we said it, we decided we're changing his name to Woward. And you're right. The stats don't necessarily show how amazing he was. But that's 100 yards rushing. He's earned every one of them. He's made 1 yards into 5 yards a bunch of times. He's done an absolutely great job giving his team some stability.
And that was almost interception number 2 for Travis Hunter as he saw where the ball was coming on that slant. Did a great job of breaking on that football and just didn't make the catch.
Yeah, that's one when they break down and they're looking at film, they'll do it. They probably won't even say anything at first. They'll just play the play and go, I wonder what happened here. And they'll play it over and over and over again, right?
Well, you won't see that very often. I can tell you that right now. From what we've seen, this kid has great hands.
But that's why they'll show it over and over and over again. Every time he gets a little full of himself, they'll have that play ready.
He's not the typical DB. He can catch the ball. So this is Lawrence dumping it off underneath on 3rd and 6. And Aubrey Miller, who we mentioned is going to the Senior Bowl. He'll be playing in the Reese's Senior Bowl this year on February 4th in Mobile, Alabama. And he just showed you one of the reasons why. He's just an outstanding defensive player.
Yeah, I mean, that's his 11th tackle of the game. He's been everywhere. He's an emotional leader.
We do have a flag down, by the way, too. So.
Got you. But well, then maybe it's not his 11th
Personal foul, defense, number 32. 15-yard penalty, first down.
So that's Davis.
Yeah.
He must have said some favorable things after the play, which cost them some. Or I guess they're saying that tackle. Are they saying that's a late hit on him? Yeah, they are.
He's throwing on the tackle as Aubrey Miller on the takedown there.
That's, I don't know. That's a quick trigger, I think.
He's in double digits on tackles today. I think he's close to 12, isn't that? That's the last count I had.
Yeah, he's 12.
Or 12. Yeah,
he's 12. He's 12, and then Miller's 11.
Just an outstanding job. So Lawrence has the blitz in his face, and he goes down. Boy, I tell you what, the pressure came from the corner. There's a late flag after the hit, so it may be something involved with the hit. But just great pressure coming from Jackson State, and they got there.
Niles Gaddy, man, that's just a sandwich right there.
Personal foul, targeting, defense, number 19.
I think if they look at that, they're going to see it's not.
Is under further review.
Yeah, he didn't hit him in the head.
That was called against Herman Smith III, who came from that corner. There was a corner blitz. He got there in a hurry around the same time that Niles Gaddy did, and we do have an injured player on the ground for Alcorn State, and I'm not sure that that's not Lawrence.
I believe it is Lawrence. We can see that play one more time, though. I think while Herman Smith was coming into that side, Lawrence bent down, and so he didn't have impact on his helmet, is what it appeared like. See, he went lower. He was above the helmet.
Yeah, you see, Gaddy got there first, and Gaddy kind of yanked Lawrence down a little bit.
Yeah, they did not hit heads. They did not. I don't think they can. Again, I get confused on what they call targeting now, but there's no head-to-head contact at all.
Well, we really hope Trey Lawrence is okay. I mean, that young man has played a whale of a game today. He's done a great job of keeping his team in it, and he's made some big plays. As you see, he's slowly getting up to a seating position there. But he's done a great job. The 6'3", 185-pound junior out of Jacksonville, who started the game at quarterback, started the last 3 games, actually, at quarterback.
He's done a nice job today. I mean, again, for what he has, 8 of 23. So, again, his just 34% effectiveness. That's tough. 153 yards passing. But, again, he made some key passes at the right moments. While his numbers total aren't very good, he did make key moments when they needed the most. He did make some completions. But, again, he's got to grow into that and get his percentage up and make things happen. Good to see him walking off. Looks like he'll be okay. Again, it was a hard hit. I just don't think it was targeting.
Well, he's walking straight to the bench, so we're going to have to see who they bring in at quarterback next. Who's the next man up?
After further review, we do not have targeting on number 19. There's no foul on the play. Second down.
Let's take another look.
again, right there, he gets hit from the back first, and that's why he ducks. And when he ducks, there's no head-to-head contact. But again, it was a hard hit, just so square on that. Yeah, and again, good for replay confirming that and getting the play right.
So Tvarius Adams, who we saw in the game earlier, will be the quarterback now. The 6'1", 190-pounder is on the field.
Meridian, Mississippi.
Yeah, and he took a couple of snaps early in the ball game as kind of a change of pace quarterback. And this time he's got the full throttle inside. He's going to run it on second down, second and long after the sack. And not much going on there. He's going to be stopped.
Yeah, I think right there they were hoping to spring about 7-8 yards, Butch, and then set up a good manageable third down. Didn't happen. So now they're going to have to find a way to have a big play. They got 2 downs to get it because at the end of the day they're going to go for it.
Jeremiah Brown caught him and dropped him. So now we're looking at 3rd and 17 to go for a first down. Good run again out of the pocket. So for the second straight time, Tvarius Adams runs with the football.
He's not throwing it.
And they really didn't want to see him throw it. So he runs it, and now they're probably going to have to kick the football away unless you're going to let T pass the football. So he's still on the field. It's going to be 4th and 11 to continue the drive.
And really, this is for the game. I mean, this is it here.
1:35 to go in the game. Adams looking for some room. He was just waiting to take off and run, and he didn't get there. That's all. He was just dropping back, trying to set up that open field situation, right, spread the field, and then just take off. But it wasn't happening.
Yeah, but on the 4th and 11, you got to throw the ball in the field. And it's the end of the game. The only way you're going to win this game is to get something happening, and you need to dump it off.
So with the loss to Jackson State today, Alcorn State will be out. So now it's going to come down to Southern or Prairie View, even though Prairie View lost. Because I guess if Southern were to go on and lose, then Prairie View would still move on as the champion.
Mm-hmm. So it's all in Southern Tan, basically.
And what a place to have the showdown than the Bayou Classic. I mean, could that not be a better setting for the showdown in the West?
Well, it's a great setting no matter what, and it'll be huge.
So they go straight ahead with the run.
Extracurricular hitting there on the left there.
Number 25, Tyson Alexander is the running back, seeing his first action. I mean, we don't know who's in the championship game yet, except for Jackson State. We know that the Tigers will be there, and they will be undefeated.
Yeah, and again, I think they'll get some time to collect and get raring to go. And for them, it's going to be very similar. All season long, every single team they plays them like it's a championship game because they got the target on their back. So I think from a Tiger standpoint, whether it's Southern or Prairie View A&M, they've shown they can beat both those teams on a consistent basis, right? But now they're going to say, oh, you got to do it twice in a year, and it's always hard to beat someone twice in a year. So that'll be tough. But Jackson State's got great mental toughness. Again, I think today when they look at especially their offense, they're not going to be very happy with what they saw from an offensive standpoint. But defensively, everyone, defense wins championships. They've got the best defense in the conference. They can certainly make the plays when they need to, and they did today. They showed it. And again, I have to say props to the Braves defense. I thought the Braves defense really played exceptional, holding Jackson State's offense really off balance. They just did not have any close to what we've seen their offense look like before.
Well, Fred McNair's team came in today and really, lived up to the challenge. They took on the challenge. They knew they were taking on an undefeated team. They had a big crowd on hand. It was just a great overall football atmosphere today.
I agree 100%. And Coach Prime, of course, he came in there, didn't dominate the way he wants. There's plenty I'm sure he's going to talk about. But, again, they get the win. They keep their season perfect. And now they'll just sit and wait and find out who their opponent is.
Can't wait. So for Jorge Vargas, I'm Butch Alcindor saying so long from Lorman, Mississippi, where the final score is 24-13, Jackson State over Alcorn State. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. Good night, everybody.
Travis again. He did it in Mobile, Alabama. He had an interception and he had a touchdown. And then in this game, he has an interception, pick 6, and a touchdown. He increased his stats. And now Jackson State has 2 weeks to prepare for I'm just going to tell y'all now, I don't see Grambling beating Southern. I just feel like Dooley is going to get his guys together to win that game next week. I just don't see it. And I think that we get Southern JSU again, and we get Southern playing a little bit better than they did at JSU. But you still may get it'll be a closer game. It'll be a more competitive game. There's more on the line, so there's more pressure on the game. So it's all about can JSU finish? Can they beat Southern twice? You know what I'm saying? Is Southern now, can Southern close the gap? Are they really a dominant team? Will his team play up to par? Will the coach go to the other quarterback? All of those things go into play. And it's going to be interesting. It's going to be really, 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 really interesting. So I was just looking through to see who playing who, when, where, and how. And it looked like the major games are where all the action is. But I don't know. That North Dakota and North Dakota State game, that's an important game. This game right here, this game is important. Okay, so I don't need HBC. That game over. But look, man, I don't want to hold y'all up. Appreciate y'all tapping
this time
in.
this late in a ball game sometimes.
Don't forget to bless the Cash App. $ KSLP 1020. $ KSLP 1020. Support the channel. Appreciate y'all time. I know y'all don't want to see no other FCS. This game over. But y'all enjoy y'all evening, man.